but they do exist. And the reason I feel like that is because my parents do not accept my life.
So that was the last conversation that you and I had. Do we agree on that?
Wait, now you're talking about the one a year later.
I haven't gotten there yet, but prior to that, that was
So
the last
the way I
conversation we
remember
had.
that one, we left off on like a relatively high note, right? It was kind of like this thing where it was like my goal was to make sure that everybody like was on the same page, that you understood that I meant my apology, but also that the voice, like the trans people, like they felt their way, right? And there, it just kind of felt like there was everybody got everything. And I might
Okay,
be
so that was the last
misremembering it, like,
conversation we had
but
until a
I
year
left that
later.
feeling like everybody got everything. Like I got y'all apology. Y'all didn't apologize to me. You didn't need to apologize to me. But kind of like the message that I was trying to get to you that I wasn't, I guess, able to get to you was getting to you. Like I felt like we left like on a really satisfied note. I didn't. Hmm?
Approximately. Okay. So then a year
Say it
later,
again. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I said, was that from your recollection the last conversation we had until a year later?
Yeah, that was my
Okay.
recollection
And then a year later, you notice that Dontrell has me up in his background, and you say that you did not approve of him doing that.
hold on. I'm sorry. One more time. I'm so sorry.
So a year later, you notice that Dontrell has me in his background. You said earlier in this live that you did not approve of that.
And that's the year later. No, no, I
Correct.
wanted him to. I wanted him to like leave the whole shit alone. Like he was being irritating.
So you didn't
Like he
approve.
was irritating the shit out of me. No, I didn't approve of that because
Okay.
he wouldn't just let the shit go.
Right. So
I don't know
Dontrell and
why.
I are having a conversation. Black Historian and King Virgo are in the box. You come up, and from my recollection, you came up upset, but you say that your anger was towards Dontrell and not towards me
One more time.
or towards the situation. You come up into the box during the live with me and Dontrell, and you say that you came in hot because of Dontrell and not because of me.
No,
So what was the reason you came in
I was,
hot
I
to the
was, I
conversation?
was, I was hot to you.
Okay. So my question from you earlier was if you knew that I was telling the truth and you agreed with me that Trina should have been checked and you no longer felt like I was doing drama because Trina should have been checked and you know that I did not interrupt the woman's essay, what was the reason for you coming hot at me?
Because I thought we had reconciled everything.
But it wasn't we that we were talking to. I was talking to Dontrell.
Right. So it's
Right.
like a
And
combination of all of that.
Dontrell had
Like
me up in his
I
background.
thought we had reconciled
But there
everything.
was
Did
no
we not
we. There
reconcile?
was no you.
Okay. Did you and Dantrell not reconcile everything?
No, we did not. I had never had a conversation with Dontrell. Dontrell, till that day that I spoke to him, was denying his involvement.
Okay.
Okay. So even if you thought me and Dontrell had reconciled, why did you come up hot at me when you saw that your friend had me in his background?
He had you in his background.
You just acknowledged that he had me in his background.
So I don't know what you look like. Um, so I'm trying to picture it.
Dontrell had my profile in his background with the Powerpuff Girl, not my actual face, my profile.
Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay.
But you remembered 15 minutes ago,
Okay. All right.
right? You know what I'm talking about. You knew he had me in his background because you said 15
I
minutes
just
ago that
remember
you
the
didn't
jump.
approve
I
because you
remember
thought he was
feeling
being
like the
messy.
fact that it was being rehashed again, even though what we did a year ago felt like reconciliation.
With
But
you.
now you're saying it ain't had nothing to do with me. It was everything to do with Dan Trail, whatever.
But correct, but you
But I
should
was
have known that it
irritated.
had nothing to do
I was
with you
irritated with
because
Dan Trail.
the
I wanted to dead the shit. Like I wanted like, listen, why are we doing this?
right, but that wasn't the question. You came in hot at me as you just admitted, but why were you hot at me when Dontrell had me in his background?
Misogynoir.
Okay. And do you understand that after the conversation with me and Dontrell, we did not get to come to a conclusion because I was blocked out of his live by one of his mods. However, prior to me being blocked, we did make some headway. Were you there for that conversation to see Dontrell apologize and admit his fault?
One more time.
Were you in the live still when Dontrell admitted fault and offered me an apology?
Most likely.
Okay, but
That was the
not
year
most
after?
likely. Yes, in the year after, that's where we are right
Yeah,
now in the
yeah, yeah,
timeline.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so as you remember it today, do you remember Dontrell apologizing?
Hmm? Yeah, yeah.
You do remember, or
I don't. I don't.
okay, that's fine.
But if you're
Okay,
but if you're
thank you.
saying he apologized,
I'm
then
not asking
I'll
you
go
to agree. I'm asking you if you
because it would
remember.
make sense.
Okay, so if the reason why I'm asking if you remember is because if you did hear him apologize and you say that you felt like our last conversation was left on a high note, but you also admit to coming into the conversation hot towards me, what is your issue with me today, and how am I starting drama by reacting to you admitting that you came in hot after a reconciliation between you and I?
Because I felt like the rehashing of it all was unnecessary.
But why do you get to decide what is necessary and unnecessary when another grown man is having a conversation with me one on one that you were
Ain't
not
none of my
involved in?
business.
It is your business. You made it your business when you came into the box screaming
Well,
at
then
me.
if it's
So,
my business, then I feel like you drag shit out. Like,
okay, so you felt like I was dragging the conversation out, even though you saw that my picture was in his background.
no, I feel like there was a lead up to it. It wasn't just he went live with your picture. There was a lead up to it.
Even if there was a lead up to it,
Right.
so you were under the impression that Dontrell and I were resolved from the conversation where he starts the live on
I'm
your
gonna,
behalf.
I'm gonna put it to you like this. I'm just gonna be honest. There's a lot of shit that I realized after this Jones situation, like over the years, like low key, high key, after doing a lot of introspection, there's a lot of shit that I was enabling for Dantrell, trying to be a good friend or whatever, and I was enabling a lot of bad behavior. And this is one of them ones I like. I'll just take the L.
But that's not what I'm asking you to do. If
You
you
don't.
if you
No, I'm
truly if you
doing
truly
what I
don't
want to do. Like, and this is what
yeah,
I'm
but
saying.
this is the same situation that we were
Remember,
in
we
your
said
live
the apology
before.
when the apology is organic. That's when I'm gonna give it.
Yeah, but it is not
All right.
organic if you
Well,
say
now
I'ma
it's
just
organic
take
right
the
now.
L for things that you say you don't remember. I'm not
Well,
asking
this is
if
what
you
I'm
don't
saying.
remember, I'm
I don't.
accepting that.
I don't need to remember all the details to know that I was in a space where I was just enabling my boy, despite him being misogynistic.
But that's not what I'm trying to get to. And I think you're missing the point. I'm not holding you accountable for how
Okay.
Dontrell acted. I'm only asking about
So
you.
you just want to be
So
heard.
I'm just
You want to be
clarifying.
able to get your side out.
No, I'm leading
No,
up to
no. I think.
something.
What are we doing?
I'm leading up to today. So if you recognize that you came into Dontrell's live hot at me, but I was in his background. So the
Are
conversation
you
I
trying
was
to say that
summoned.
you were never the problem?
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. But
Okay.
I think that you keep trying to cut me off because you want this conversation to be done. But I don't really think that you can try to tell me when something is dragged on or when something goes on too long if you're not willing to
I
dead
mean,
the
I got to be
conversation
up in
here
an
and
hour.
now.
So, but go ahead.
Okay, I apologize. I didn't start this live for you, but this is a few years worth of stuff that's being talked about in one night. I'm trying to move quickly through it as possible, but you keep taking segues to try to give these little apologies to stop the conversation. So, do you want to pick it up another day or can I finish?
Come on.
Thank you. So, if you knew that you came in hot towards me when Dontrell was the one who had me up in his background, how do we get to today when you're calling me drama when you know the last conversation I had with you, you was hollering at me?
I thought I think that you do messy talk. I think that live was a production, was content for messy talk.
Okay. And so
Now,
your issue, but it was my issue.
hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
Now, I am admitting that now that we're speaking about it, there were just a lot of excuses that I was making for D. And I was engaging in misogynoir when it came to that. Misogynoir definitely does shape how I view you.
Okay. Okay, I can appreciate that answer. But even how you view me, and the way that you view what's messy though, because we've
Some of
already
it is based
established.
on your participation in messy talk.
And yes, and I was getting ready to address that. I again haven't gotten an example of what you believe to be messy talk, but at the end of the day, my comings and goings on this app, what I find entertaining, didn't have anything to do with the live because number one, I wasn't the host, and number two, when you came, if you feel like I'm a part of messy talk, do you think that the people who came into those lives have never seen me before?
What do you mean?
I mean, I feel
When
like
you say
that
those
was
people, what people are you talking about?
whoever you were concerned about.
Peach.
Were you under the, okay, so you were concerned about Peach. So were you under the impression that Peach and I have never spoken and
Oh,
that
no, I know
and
you've
it,
spoken to Peach.
okay, so do you felt like it was
And I
your
know that
responsibility to warn Peach about me?
it felt like it was important for me because of a conversation that we've had was to
Hmm.
remind Peach.
Okay. So you wanted to remind Peach about me based on the conversations that you and I have had.
No, based on a conversation Peach and I have had.
Okay. And based off of the conversation that you and Peach have had, were you under the impression that Peach had forgotten those conversations and was not in that live on their own accord?
Um, they said they were getting ready to go.
Okay. So without disclosing private conversations that you've had, were you under the impression that Peach was not getting anything out of the conversation and therefore was leaving because they did not feel as though the conversation was productive?
Mm, Peach didn't want to be in a situation where they had to navigate being on a panel with you and being friends with Banana and myself.
Okay. So you're saying that Peach does not want to get in between themselves and mine and Banana's issue.
Uh, can you restate that? Can you reframe that? I don't know.
When you said that you said that Peach had expressed to you that they did not want to be in the middle of Banana and I.
In a situation where they know how Banana and I feel about you.
Okay. So they felt like they were in the middle of like, my friends don't feel comfortable with you, so I don't want to go against my friends by being in panels with you, kind of
I
thing.
mean, eventually, if that's a conversation you want to have with them, I think you should figure out
Okay.
if they feel safe or if they're cool with you being on the panel.
Okay, no problem. So that circles back to what harm have I caused Banana other than holding them accountable for anti-Blackness, in your opinion?
All I know is that they haven't felt good about you. They feel like there's the draggings go on for way too long. The accountability lives or whatever, they feel unrelenting. They feel like they go on for a long
Real
time.
quick, my phone is about to die and my charger is not working. So if I drop, I'm gonna try and be back. I'm literally on 3% and I'm trying to get my charger to work. I didn't mean to interrupt this.
No, I
I
appreciate
know this
you.
dialogue is important. I will say this though before I go. I do think that this question was answered before because we did talk about how Banana had said that you had called them white, and I think that that was probably the harm that is being talked about right now because
I
that's
guess I didn't hear it. I thought you guys were reading comments. I didn't hear it come from Solid's mouth, so that's why I asked again because I
Yeah,
did
you
not
called
hear
them
his
white. You called
answer.
them a white
Okay.
woman.
Okay, so Banana's grievance with me is that I called them white, and that is the harm that you feel like I have caused. That felt like you needed to warn Peach or have warned Peach about me.
Mhm.
Okay, were you aware that the draggings that you're speaking of have not been centered around one issue, that they have been a repeat patternistic issue with Banana and their involvement in anti-blackness?
It,
No, you weren't.
no.
Okay, so from
Are you
your
trying?
from
Like,
for,
are you trying to like? Where are we going with this? Like, I'm telling you. You asked me a question. I'm giving you the answer with the information that I have. Right.
and that's why
So,
I
like,
asked you, were you
proving
aware? That's it.
that I posthumously was incorrect. It doesn't matter to me. Like,
Posthumously, you're alive.
posthumously, I'm alive.
Yeah, posthumous means after death. You are alive.
Okay. All right. Post hoc. That I
Okay.
was incorrect for it, right? Because I was missing information.
Yeah, and no, yeah, that's why I am asking the questions because I want to know, and so that I'm clear and not
Right. So
assuming
what
that
I'm
you
saying
didn't
is
have all of the information.
I acted the way I felt was best with the information that I had.
Okay. And that's why I have to clarify because the information that you have is incorrect. And I get it. You do not have to, I'm not asking for a campaign against Banana, but I am going to call out patterns and I am going to continue to stand against the things that I have heard them say. And more recently, have been calling Phoenix a gremlin, as well as searching high and low across the app for Black Wing Zero to hold him accountable for some anti-Indigenous things that he said, which he absolutely deserved it. But I did not believe that Banana was the right person to orchestrate that live against him because of their history with anti-Blackness and the fact that they had not, and still have not to this day, accounted for the anti-Blackness for calling Phoenix a gremlin. And I do feel that yourself included keep answering for them. And the excuse is always that they don't feel comfortable. And my comment was, if they were a white person, would we be accepting that as an excuse?
No,
Okay, so why the fuck does Banana get to feel comfortable when a question is being
because
asked towards them
indigenous is
about
not the same thing
anti-Blackness?
as white.
No, it isn't, but they are not Black, and being anti-Black towards a group of Black people still needs accountability, and you cannot use
Right.
your uncomfortability as an excuse.
Okay.
So do you disagree with that because they're indigenous?
No, I think that if you called them a white woman, I don't think you really care about their indigeneity in the first place. I don't think uh, um, I don't. How do you feel about Black and Indigenous solidarity?
I think that BIPOC is a myth, and I don't think that this is an issue for me. I think that sometimes people um, get BIPOC as an excuse to enter into conversations that they should not enter into. And I feel as though there are Black people that allow other persons of color to enter into these conversations and coddle them when they step out of line because they are also a person of color. I'm not denying that people of color are victims of white supremacy. But I do not think that they should get a pass to enter into these conversations and be anti-Black towards us and have Black people tokenized by saying, well, so and so doesn't feel like I'm anti-Black, and so said that I didn't have to. When I see these issues, I see Black people coming to the forefront to answer for their non-Black friends and mutuals. And I stated that earlier. My
Mm.
issue with Bananas is that they are claiming that they are not anti-Black, but they are actively watching Black women and femme presenting people answer for them every single time they get called out.
Everybody's anti-Black. So
Correct. But when people are outside of our community are held accountable and they try to weaponize their uncomfortability, we don't stand for it. And I don't think that a POC gets to have that same latitude.
okay. All right.
And so, yes, I have absolutely said that the B is separate, because what happens is that people will take their IPOC identity and use it as a weapon, just like right now, to escape accountability that is absolutely due.
For
And
being
even if I
anti-black.
am not the one that they want to speak to, which is absolutely fair, but they're not speaking to anybody about what they did, let alone the person that they made the comments toward.
Okay. All right, that's fair.
So even if you felt as though I have a problem with your friend, are you aware that Peach stated that Banana held those lives behind their back and that they did not co-sign the lives that Banana was holding?
There's a different story that, right? And I'm not. Peach isn't here.
You're right, they are not here. But I had this conversation with Peach on a live,
Mm-hmm.
and multiple people heard this. And so if you're saying that there's a different story, I'm just trying to gather where your head was at. So if you didn't know that, that's where my
I had
confusion
no
is coming
idea.
from.
I had no idea. Like, legit, today is the first day I've heard anything about a gremlin.
And that's why I'm confused, Solid. Do you see where my confusion is coming from?
I got a story after the live, and then they talking about gremlins and shit, and I'm like, wait, okay. So, I mean, it is what it is.
So
Like,
when we addressed Peach, and Peach and Phoenix got a chance to finally speak to each other, I asked Peach the same questions that I'm asking you about Banana's involvement. And they stated to me that they had no idea that Banana was hosting these lives on their behalf. They had no idea that Banana had called for Thomas Bishop to threaten Phoenix. They had no idea that Banana had called Phoenix a gremlin and put her picture up in the background and made fun of her looks. But you're telling me that there's a different story.
yeah, there's a story that Thomas Bishop said something, and Banana was not by their phone when Thomas Bishop had said something.
He threatened to set her on fire and then lied and said that she also obtained his address and sent him an unsolicited package.
That's the last nigga need to be said. Anyway. All
Correct.
right.
Correct. And now we are finding out that he is unhinged and had no business. We get that. But my confusion as to the Peach and Banana situation is I'm not under the impression that they are not friends, but I am a little confused as to how you feel as though Peach should not be speaking to me when I'm not incorrect about Banana's anti-blackness. Do you not think it's anti-black to call a black woman a gremlin and put her picture up on the background?
Absolutely. Again,
Do you
today's
not
the
think
first
that it
time.
was anti-black to call for a man, whether he said those things or not? You called for a man to attack a black woman.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Again,
Did you
today's the
do
first
you
day that I've heard about any of that.
and that's my confusion. My
Okay. So
confusion and my issue with what you did
my
today comes from the
experience
fact
is
that
that
I expected you to know these things.
and right the aftermath of whatever had gone on with Banana. That was my information. That's the way I was informed. I operated based on the information that I had. Now I have new information. I'll reassess.
Okay. And that's all I asked you earlier, is that even if you don't believe me, even if you think that I can't be trusted, whatever your feelings are, no matter our interaction, I would implore you to speak to people that you do trust, or even gather the information on your own. And I will even send some clips your way if I can, that these conversations have absolutely happened. And Bratz held a live to hold Banana accountable and was told that Banana is not coming because they did not feel well. And Black women had to get up there and account for what Banana said. And to this day, Banana has not shown up to speak about the disparaging comments they said about Phoenix, enlisting Black men to attack her and allowing them to sit in that live and say that they wanted to set her on fire, and lie and say that she was sending out unsolicited packages to people and doxing. So, with that being said, I understand that Banana is your friend, but as a Black man, regardless of how you feel about me personally, I think that it is in your best interest to either hold your fucking friend accountable or ask them to come and have a conversation with the people that they have harmed, instead of caping for them just because you don't like me. Because the anti-blackness doesn't just affect me. If there are black women that you do like, then you have got to stop caping for Banana just for the simple fact that they are indigenous, because regardless of what I have said to them, it doesn't change the fact that what the fuck they did is true and accurate, and it happened. It happened in 4K, and black women were being questioned about it. And Banana did not show up for the people that they claim to care about, for the community that they claim to care about. You're watching black women pick up a fucking sword for you, and now you are doing it. And Banana is nowhere to be found because their fucking feelings are hurt. Even if I did call Banana white, so fucking what? Only on the strength of that is not an excuse for you to not be held accountable for your anti-blackness. If you don't want to talk to me, you can talk to the other people that you have harmed, because I wasn't in Bratz's live. Why they didn't show up for Bratz? Why didn't they show up for Phoenix? Why didn't they show up when we were in AJ's live? They were supposed to be mutuals with AJ as well. AJ wanted to speak to them about their feelings. But when Banana says that they did not know that Phoenix was black with their picture in the background clearly black, that's a problem for me too, because why are you speaking up for communities if you can't even fucking recognize us? What you got to say about us and you don't even know what we look like? You can't recognize a black woman when you see one, but you up here caping for us? How? How? And if we're going to talk about indigeneity, we're going to talk about BIPOC. You knew she wasn't fucking white when you put that picture up there. So it really didn't matter what fucking classification you thought she belonged to. You knew she wasn't pasty. So if Banana is indigenous and Banana feels as though their indigeneity parallels with black people, then why would you call any melanated person out of their fucking name, but then get mad and cry and complain and have people coming at me because because they thought I called them white, by saying that their actions were that of white women, by saying that they just couldn't have the conversation. I can't do this right now, my mental health. We don't accept that from anybody else. And that's not okay. Because the same black women that you called drama, the same person that you called reactive abuse, we are the fucking ones on the front line having to take accountability for our fucking BIPOC friends that never show up. It's BIPOC until it's convenient. It's BIPOC when you getting coins and people is hollering, let them in the box, let them in the box. It's BIPOC when you getting mod all over this app. But as soon as somebody wants to hold you accountable for something that you did, we white woman and we white manning. And that's not fair. Because when you typed in that comments that I hurt Jamie off of their feelings because you allowed them to come to you and use you as a fucking shield. And even if you had an issue with me, as a black man who advocates for the entirety of the black community, how could you not recognize that that is exactly what they were doing? Capitalizing off of your already issues with me. Am I wrong?
I don't think you're being fair to the situation. I think you're asking for something that I wouldn't have had the wherewithal to do.
Can you elaborate? Because I don't.
Yeah. You and I had already had bad runnings. And then to find out even further, right? So I don't want further interactions with you. Then to find out, right, that someone else who I care about is having bad runnings with you. But then I'm expected to investigate.
So on the strength of your community, because unfortunately,
Listen,
I'm going to try to say this as delicately as possible because I understand we have different viewpoints, but when the world sees you a certain way, we understand that people even in our community have a different experience, right? We know that light-skinned people have a different experience than dark-skinned people. We can agree with that, correct?
mm-hmm.
Okay. And just because a person is black doesn't change the fact that their lighter tone gives them a certain privilege in this society than others. You disagree?
Not necessarily, no.
Okay. So
I
if we
think that I
see,
think that I can recognize all of it. I think I could recognize misogyny, misogynoir. You know what I'm
but
saying?
it seems as though
Colorism.
it seems as though it was over your head
Well,
when a lighter toned
because
individual
because the
is telling
possibility
you,
for me was just straight up was that all of those things are true, and I'm sure you experienced that. I'm pretty sure you experienced the angry black woman trope, all of that, all of that. But just on a personal level, you and I, as individuals, don't get along.
yeah, you already admitted that it was Massage Noir. So if you know that you're operating under Massage Noir and you also
Always,
understand that
always,
Banana
always. Like I'm
is a lighter toned individual, you don't think that you both were operating under that same trope that I was just an angry black woman and you didn't think to yourself that maybe you should investigate whether or
no,
not your friend was
I thought
anti-black?
that I thought that on an individual level, specifically, you and I just don't get along.
But you just stated that you allowed that to creep into the conversations that you had with Banana because you felt as though like you guys had something in common that I was basically bullying the both of you.
Yeah, and I didn't investigate any
Okay.
further.
So on the strength of the entire community, I feel as though you should have maybe investigated those claims so that you could have maybe addressed your friend on their anti-blackness, regardless of if it was coming from me, because I wasn't the only person that was addressing them.
All right.
And I feel like were you not active in those lives or you didn't see those lives where other people wanted to address them as well?
No.
Okay. And this circles back to the same conversation that we had about Christy Lou Who, where you feel as though the people that are close to you are automatically believed because you have an issue with the people who are bringing the information to your purview. And I mean, do you think that being objective is a tool that you would need for advocacy?
Yeah.
Okay. So going forward, what are we going to do? Because I don't want to have you pop up in no more lives trying to warn your mutuals about me because I'm not understanding how I'm drama by standing up for my people, or engaging in messy talk, as you call it, because I'm always going to drag a white person. And if you see me screaming and hollering in a fucking box, that doesn't have anything to do with my advocacy. And it has nothing to do with the fact that I am always and will continue to stand up for Black people. And as long as I am Black, my existence is the fucking advocacy. Right.
I'll stay out your
Cool.
way.
I mean, that's not what I'm asking for. Staying out of my way isn't the problem. I didn't say anything transphobic.
When let me ask you this. What would you do if you were in my shoes? No, no, you know what?
What regard?
Because that's gonna ask for labor. I don't want to. I don't want to ask you for no labor.
What, like,
No,
in
no,
what regard?
that's asking for labor. That's not my place. And if you gotta tell me, that means you see what I'm saying. So I will ask you this: in the name of again restorative justice, what repairs you?
I guess I just feel like the statements that you made about me being drama and being on Messy Talk, I think that, I mean, the damage has already been done because it seems, if I'm recalling correctly or gathering what you're trying to say, is that you've already decided that you were going to campaign against me based off of your own issue with me. So, I mean,
I gotta be honest.
the only thing,
I disagree with the call out, Charles. I do. I'm just that's just not my speed.
I mean, but isn't that what y'all do when y'all be calling out white people?
No, those are
Isn't that what you did when you was sitting up here
no, those
screaming
are
at your camera about what Jones needs to do and calling him all kind of bitch ass niggas? Is that not a call out
yeah,
live?
yeah, yeah, yeah. But that's we got that
Oh,
nigga up
that's
off the app.
different.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
How?
Because we got that nigga up off the app.
No, clearly not, because he was just up in his motherfucking live nodding off and
Right.
giving fake fucking
And then when he
apologies.
came back, I jumped back in his shit to remind him he need to leave the app.
But that's a call out.
And I banged his line. Had a
But that's a call out
told
though.
him he need to stay off the app because he's a rapist, right?
And I agree that he shouldn't be around people, but that's a call out.
That's different from 4 hours of like, and nigga, you did, and this, and you did, and I got this receipt over here, and look at this peripheral thing that I seen that they said in these text messages. Now look at this Discord. That's not the same thing.
So let me ask you a question. If people were willing, right, because it's up to them to decide whether or not they want to face someone who has abused them. If the victim is willing to face the person who abused them and they are yelling at them for 4 hours, in this situation we're talking about Jones, would you consider that to be mess?
No,
Would you consider that to be a messy call out?
no.
So where do you draw the line between mess and a person standing up for themselves?
When niggas who heard about it, when when some cats who just heard about it or stumbled into the live decide they want to host a whole dig in, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh,
But
look
what does that
live.
have to do with the originator? Because you
Did
don't
you
do
hear
you
about
think
this and this?
right? And so if in this scenario, right, in this hypothetical, if people wanted to address Jones, do you think that in TikTok culture that other people would not branch off and host their own lives about what they saw?
Oh, absolutely.
And would you still consider that call out against Mr. Jones to be mess?
Y'all can do what y'all want to do. It's just not
Right.
my
So the
speed.
arbiter, so the arbiter of mess in this hypothetical is clearly not people branching off and hosting their own lives, because that's going to happen anyway, because people are going to host their own spaces to discuss either what they saw, how they felt, etc. So if someone calls me ugly and I decide that I want to host a 4 hour live calling them out, why is that mess versus something else? Because you think that one thing is more serious than the other?
No, it doesn't, after a while, it's about utility, right? After a while, it stops being about the survivors. After a while, it stops being about, and it starts to be about peripheral people looking for clout.
But that's going to happen regardless of
It
the
starts to
nature of
be
the
about,
situation, whether the situation is extremely serious or whether it's something frivolous. But I'm asking this question to
and that's when
gather,
you're
what do
asking
you
me when it
consider to
gets
be
messy.
frivolous?
That's when I think it gets messy.
But that's going to happen regardless. And the people who are the originators
Yeah,
of the call out live don't control other people going off and hosting their own lives about what they saw.
I am very aware of that. It's just not my speed.
But it is your speed, because what do you don't think people recap what you say? You don't think that
Of
people recap
course,
your lives?
it's not. It's not something I like to do,
But you do it.
but I don't.
If one of your mutuals comes to you right now and says, Solid, I want to host a live and call this person out because they were transphobic towards me, is that mess?
No.
No. And if I see that live and I recap it, is that mess?
Yes.
Okay. So that means that what you did for the person who is experiencing transphobia was mess as well.
Hmm?
By your logic, in the hypothetical, if you host a live for someone to call out a transphobe that they've been harmed and I recap it, then your live becomes mess.
Why?
Because that's what you
Why
said.
not just the live recapping the live?
But that's what you said.
No. If a peripheral person who is, for all intents and purposes, not really involved, decides to have a recap, a play-by-play, a tea, spilling tea or whatever, dishing, whatever, that's not the actual restoration. That's mess.
Right. And the reason I'm asking is because you're saying that your example of me doing mess was Posting a live comment. How do you get to say that and not be tone policing?
No, no, it's not about that. Like we're talking about if you're like 3 degrees removed from the situation, but you're holding a whole live, or when you've ingrained yourself or when you've slid yourself into proximity with the people who actually had the experience, but
Mm-hmm.
you're just like sitting next to them
Mm-hmm.
so that you could pick up some facts and stuff like that. That's
Oh, so then what Bananas did was mess because they were not directly harmed by Phoenix.
okay.
You gonna talk to them about that?
Sure.
No, I'm not sure because if that was your
Yes.
previous thought, then you should have already
Matter
done
of
it.
fact, I'm gonna text them right now
But why didn't you already do it if you're against mess?
because I'm against mess, and they're my friend.
So your friend can't be held accountable for doing third party mess. Only me.
No, no, I just told you I'm about to text them.
No, but I'm talking about previously, not today when I brought it
Like
to your attention.
if they did the whole no means no live.
Yes, calling out Phoenix on behalf of Peach is
Because
mess by your definition.
Peach was so beat up behind it that they left the app.
Holding alive on behalf of Peach as a person who is not directly involved is mess by your definition. So if you did not feel the
Well,
need
then
to
we're gonna
call
have to add some
Bananas drama in
flexibility in there.
messy,
Do you feel like that's mess?
I'm not the one making the comments. No, I don't think that if you're calling something out and you are doing so because your friend is asking you to, then it's a different story. But if you're saying that other people are doing
If you're
mess, but
just standing
when
up
I
for your
bring
friend,
you in a clear when I bring you a clear example, now all of a sudden we have flexibility. But
I'm just
you were very direct in what you thought
you
was
provoked a
considered
thought in me.
mess.
You got me to rethinking about my definition. I'm not a lexicographer.
Okay, so now that we're rethinking the definition, how now do you feel about whether or not I do mess now that we're flexible with the definition of mess?
You know what? I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay, so when will you have
I
the
think
answer? I'll
I
come
think I
back.
need to know you better.
You need to know me better, but you don't need to know me at all, though. But if you've already had the context and you had the idea in your head that I was doing mess,
Listen,
because I'm holding people accountable and I'm standing up for myself. So, which part is mess? Me holding somebody accountable because they wished unaliving on my child, me holding someone accountable because they called my friend an FA, GG, or holding somebody accountable for saying hard ER, holding somebody accountable for calling slurs, holding somebody accountable. Which part of these lies, when you hear me hollering and screaming, is mess to you?
okay, so you listed a lot of valid reasons to have lives.
Correct.
What you didn't list was stretching the truth, mixing in pieces of truth with pieces of lies
But
about
how would you know if it was
me,
truth or lies if you
right?
don't spend time
About
in those
freedom.
lives?
Like we can't
Wait,
front like bold don't be holding messy lives like he doesn't do TikTok. Like why are we playing around like it don't be mess time? Like
People
why are
in
we
his
pretending like
okay,
why are
so
we pretending like
if someone was in your space and they called someone a homophobic slur and people
no,
were dragging them,
those are valid, but
and
you talk
this is
about
what you're
that's like
seeing
if
though.
like if I say, okay, so how is it when I go save dogs,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying? When I'm rendering medical care to neonates on the NICU, that I'm doing misogynoir. Well, I just listed some shit that ain't got nothing to do with the actual misogynoir that I was doing. But I definitely did some misogynoir.
I think it'll be better if you talk about what lies or now I'm saying the shit. I
Yeah,
think it'll
that's
be
okay.
better
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Yeah,
If
direct.
you,
Like, because I'm only naming these things because I'm confused that, like, you're not being direct about it. So I'm naming all of the things that I can think of. Like, yes, if you see me hollering and screaming at a panel, in a panel, it's for a good reason. So I'm
I
asking you,
wish you would
what
stop
reasons
saying
do you feel weren't
hollering
good enough?
and screaming.
I'm saying that because the,
Do you be hollering and screaming? Like I don't.
so then what is the mess that you've been
I
seeing if
got
you're not
words.
talking about the
I
Me,
think I think it's
then be
yeah,
me,
yeah.
direct.
me,
Yeah, I think you should be
me.
direct about what it is that you're saying. I think
Yes.
he's talking about the misremembering of events. I don't know if you misremember it, he misremembers it, but he's talking about that and how the misremembering of events would lead to just
I mean,
uh,
but then Sean, you have to
animosity.
understand
I
that it's
couldn't
a
think of
catch.
the
You have
words.
to understand that it's a catch 22, and I'm talking directly to you as the mediator. It's a catch 22. The victim and the
Mm,
perpetrator are always going to have two different stories. Yes or no?
yeah,
Okay. So typically in
But you're
these
not.
situations, it's going to be the perpetrator that says that didn't happen. I didn't do that.
What if it ain't
yeah, but
a
that's
perpetrator,
not
but just two people who
the
just
the
don't
ent-
go to jail? And that's what
Okay,
I'm
but
saying.
because both
I
people.
don't
Framing
know
it
what
as
else
That's
I don't
not
know
why
what
okay.
is
else
it
to call. I
framed?
don't know what else
This
to
is the
call
stuff
it.
I be
The
talking
person
about.
who did the action, the
Wait,
person
wait,
who
wait,
What
received
wait,
if
the
we
action.
just
I'll
don't
say it
I
that
like
think
way.
it's
each
just.
other?
I think it's looked at
What's
as
so
an
wrong
indictment.
with
I
that?
don't think it needs to look at it as an indictment.
Okay, so
I
that's why I
think
said
that
I'll rephrase and say, like, okay, the person who committed the action and the person receiving the action. Usually the
yeah,
person who committed
I
the
hear
action
you.
is going
I
to
hear
say they
you.
didn't do it.
No, I do. I hear you. I mean, that's true to an extent, but the point here is that like you asked him, why is it that you believe that I do mess, and his answer is because a story about him. You're saying that something within that story happened that he
Feels didn't happen.
yeah, he just says it didn't happen. He's like he doesn't remember that happening. He doesn't believe that that's the way that it happened. And
Hmm.
there's some like misrepresentations of the timeline as
But
well.
there's also a
But like
misrepresentation of him calling me an abuser. And now I can't say the word perpetrator because there was, for lack of a better term. So if people leave this
I
live
felt like you
believing
gave
that
me
I'm an
better.
abuser, yeah, you did, but it's already been said multiple times, right? So if people leave this live thinking that I'm some kind of a verbal abuser and that I attack people without cause, then whose responsibility is
What
that?
is without cause?
well, I think that he hold on, I got because I think that he said that for those reasons. Like I think that he said that um what he said before. I'm not going to repeat it because I don't want to repeat it. We both know what he said. Um, I think that he said that because of words being used like perpetrator and like he said before, you said that because I did look up reactive abuse and he is right. It is when you there is reactive abuse where I just said the shit. What the fuck? I'm tired. But there is that kind of thing where you like push a person, push a person, and then when they react, you say, "See, this is what happens." Yada yada yada. I'm not saying you're doing
Right, but
that,
then
but
in
I'm
this
not.
live, he's already admitted that there was no push. He admitted that he came in hot towards me. So I asked him specifically, which maybe I'll ask again,
Yeah, no, I.
if you know that the last conversation that I had with you, you were screaming at me, why would you think or believe that I'm
I
not
think
supposed to talk about that?
Now we're doing screaming.
I don't.
You see what I'm saying? Like
I'm
now,
not.
I
now
don't.
it's
When
like
Hold
was
on.
I
Hold on.
screaming.
Hold
screaming?
on. Hold on.
I said
When
No, you
goodbye in
said
like five different languages. I said Atutalur, Auf
when was I
Wiedersehen,
screaming?
Annyeong Yigaseyo. I said I don't really care for your voice. I would like for
solid,
you not to
solid,
speak on
solid,
me. I don't speak on
solid,
you. What no screaming.
solid, solid. Let's slow down. Um, I think what Solid is saying is that you're saying that Solid was screaming, not that Solid was
He
screaming.
admitted that he came in hot in the last conversation that we had. Yes, on
Today?
Dontrell's panel.
I don't know.
Right. So my question was, if you knew that the last conversation we had was you yelling at me in Dontrell's live, why would you think that we had any other
I,
interaction other than that?
Can you re-ask that question? I'm not sure I understood it. You said knowing that I was yelling at you in Dan Trail's live. That's the last interaction we had.
Correct.
Why would I what you on that?
Why would you continue to harbor this idea that it's just me?
What do you mean? It's just you.
Um,
I think what Queen means is that why would you believe that Queen is the one causing all the problems and doing all of the like being
I
being hostile towards
had
you.
experiences with Queen that were very reminiscent of my first wife.
okay.
All
So
right.
you had bad experiences with me because I refused to allow you to
Straight up,
talk to me any kind of way. And I
no, no,
refuse for
no.
you,
Now we're
yeah, no,
painting
because
this. We're painting this
no,
that way.
I'm not painting anything. I'm
Why are
not
you painting
painting
it like that?
anything because this is
It's not
exactly
about
so
my
now we
ability to
finally
talk to
get to
you.
a point where you finally want to tell the truth instead of trying to beat around this fucking mulberry
But
bush.
it's not. No, no.
You
I'm
felt
saying I
like
know
I
the act of
reminded
No, I
abuse when
you,
think
I
he,
see it
all
because
right.
I've survived it.
Correct. And that's not my fucking problem
But
that
what
you
I'm
feel like
saying
you had
is
an
the
issue with someone
wording
wait,
that
wait,
you
wait, wait,
prior.
wait.
All
use,
Hold on,
the
because
right.
way you
we're over
stretch the
talking. We're over
truth.
No,
talking.
we
We're
are
over
not
talking.
over fucking talking.
Hold on. Well, he was kind of talking.
When?
Um, wait, when you started talking, I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm just trying to stop the over talking. You did ask him a question. I uh I wanted him to answer that question for you so that you could have a full answer. Because that's what you said you want. You wanted clarity. You wanted to be sure. I want you to have that. So solid. Well, I'll ask the question. Do you remember the question?
Why is it painted out like it's just you doing things? It's not painted out like it's only you. What it is painted out is, though, I've had negative experiences with you. It makes it very difficult to navigate spaces with you. I don't trust you. I don't trust you to be safe. I don't trust my friends
Well, wait,
to be
real
safe
quick.
around you.
I'm sorry.
What's up?
No, no, no. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. It was just.
I don't trust my friends' safety around you until I learn more information. We've had a talk here. You've given me some things to think about. I've even recognized some bad patterns in myself.
Okay. So
So
your
it's not
comment,
about just making it all like you, right? It's just
I
like,
think.
yo, listen, my
Hold up.
friend is in
Solid.
a
Solid.
vulnerable
Solid.
place. I just want to make sure my homie is taken care of, is safe, man.
right?
Solid.
But
I don't think you answered. My bad. Go ahead, Queen.
no, he answered the question. It may not have been direct, but I gather what he's saying. You are you were triggered by me and how I reacted to you in the original live with Christy Lou Who and any other lives that we've had after that, which is not my fucking problem. You said I was reminiscent of your ex-wife, which is also not my problem. Reacting to how you were speaking to people, to me, not allowing you to weasel your way out of what happened, not allowing you to um, use your platform to control what we could and could not say by kicking and blocking us, anyone would be angry. So I think the reason why I am angry, not I think, I know the reason why I am angry is because you have made these comments to your mutuals about me based off of the fact that you cannot be held accountable, based off of the fact that you did not like the language that I was using when I was trying to hold you accountable and advocating for myself. But when other women have come to you with similar situations, you can advocate for them, but you couldn't advocate for me because you were a part of it. So when I'm in a panel full of men who are yelling at me, when I'm in a panel full of men who are speaking at me, talking at me, tone policing me, kicking me and dropping me, when I start turning up and yelling and hollering as a pregnant woman, now I'm reminiscent of your ex-wife because you were fucking triggered.
No, I think he was saying that
No, that's exact.
to
No,
give
and
you the answer.
no more coddling. No, absolutely the
Jump
fuck not. No,
Street
absolutely not.
from
Because the
Jump
thing, yes, from
Street.
Jump Street
From
we had an
Jump
issue
Street.
because
Stop
That's
you
why I
were
doing
said
that.
I don't think.
arguing.
Stop doing that.
That's why I
Stop
said I
doing
don't think
what?
you answered the question solid. I think
Because
No,
you
he
got to
did.
answer the
He
well,
answered
question
now
the
there's this thing
directly.
like,
question.
oh,
I
because I
don't think you
wouldn't
did.
let you talk to me any kind of, wouldn't no talk to you any kind of way on the very first live.
Yes, it was.
Hold up,
The
hold
reason
up,
why I
Brother,
because
blocked
this
you,
is
there
the
was
reason why I
solid
blocked you
time
out
on the
of,
very first
no,
live.
the
Solid was
reason why
very
I
soft
blocked
on the
you
very
out of
first.
Wawa's live is because you were getting
what.
defensive at her request to not use the word. The original reason why I couldn't kick people at the time, so I had to block you to get you out of the space during at this time in period of TikTok, like technology. You were not blocked for good. You were blocked just to get you out of the box because, yes, you were going back and forth with Wawa. She was hosting a live about her unalived nephew. It was unproductive, and you were
I,
fighting for your right to say the word when she asked you not to. And the conversation could have continued towards the topic, but you would refuse to stop saying the word. It was already combative. So when we get to your live, there's more going back and forth. The men had to come up there and mediate. So you're saying that I approached you right off rip with a negative attitude, but I'm telling you that as a woman, I wasn't finna let no man talk to me crazy, and you're mad because you're the man talking to people crazy. But if another person comes in this live and says the same thing that happened to them that you did, we would be hosting a fucking call out for them. We would be allowing that woman to speak for herself. We would be allowing that woman to say her fucking piece. And my opinion is that because you are involved, you no longer were able to hold that standard when it was happening to you. And you did go to Dontrell and express yourself about how you felt. And because he's your friend, and you told him that you felt like I was treating you poorly and that it was reminiscent on trauma that you have had, I was painted as the bad person for doing exactly what happens to Black women all the time. I was too turned up. I didn't have no business talking to you that way. I shouldn't have fucking said it like that. I shouldn't have said it this way. That's exactly what you are doing to me.
No.
That's exactly what
I
has
said it
happened.
felt weird. It
I
reminded
don't.
me of what happened because that's what happened. It was the type of language, the wording, just like right now,
what was
What
the
the?
I just literally what
wording,
I
I
the
just
don't
said.
think.
wording, it's the way
That's
the
what I
shit is
just. That's
worded.
literally what I just
Saying
said.
things
There's no
like, you
discrepancy,
always and you did it, right? It's like, Slim, like,
and there's no
I think you
discrepancy.
need to say the language. I don't think Queen is understanding what you mean by the language. If you mean something different than what she is
the
saying, then you need to
absolutism,
say
the hyperbole, the like the vilifying language, right? Like perpetrator, victim, right? Stuff like that, right? The you always do this, you never do this, you are this kind of person, you right? That raised red flags for me, and all I wanted to do was talk to Dan Trail about the shit. Now, it didn't come on because we was low key chilling. As far as I remember, we was low key chilling until I said, just like when you were interrupted and took over Dan Trail's live. When I made that smart comment, that's when it started. It didn't start nowhere before that. It wasn't even like this big deal. It wasn't even like it was when I made that comment
Yes, solid, because you made a quip in a moment,
because I made
which
it clear,
people
yeah.
do, right? You turned a situation that was not about you, where you took a quip while we were trying to hold Christy Lou Who accountable. And you stated that you made that quip because when I made the comment, like, okay, you disrupted the live, and that's why I blocked you. You're not permanently blocked from Wawa, but I kicked you out of the box because you were disrupting. Instead of recognizing that the live was very important because we were talking about a young man that was unalived and talking about how the justice system failed him, you decided to take a quip instead. Anyone would react to that negatively. You said, like you did, you just admitted that you said that. So when I
No,
bring to
no,
your
no, no. I'm
attention,
saying when I went in Wawa's live,
no, and
y'all was
Jesus
chilling
Christ.
talking about how the C word, how Coon
No, we
was
were not chilling.
black.
We were talking about a very specific topic, and you came up to address the topic. And while you were addressing the topic, you said the word while I stopped you and told you not to say it. And it became a small 5-10 minute debate about the use of the word. And then that's when the arguing happened. You got kicked. When we came to your live, and I tried to explain to you, like, yes, I kicked you, but I kicked you because of this. You were disrupting the live. Instead of accepting the fact that you were disrupting an important live, you decided to make a quip about how I was disruptive. Anybody would react to that. So my whole point in saying this is that you have this notion about me, about my reaction and the language that I use without taking responsibility for the fact that you did not try to have a decent conversation because it started with the quip. Yes, as you said, making the
Not,
quip while
but that's not
someone is
what you
trying
said.
to.
You didn't say it started with the quip.
Because regardless of us realize regardless of agreeing why I came into the live, we can both agree that the quip was what the turn up was. But I know that I came into that live to address Christy Lou Who. And even if you disagree with that, we can move past that disagreement because the catalyst of us going at each other was based off of the quip, correct? But the reason for me entering the live was because I heard Christy Lou Who co-signing. We don't have to agree on that part because that's not where the argument started. Because as I've stated before, you were not the topic of conversation when I came into your live. Christy Lou Who was. You became the topic of conversation when you took the quip instead of recognizing that you interrupted Wawa's live. So my reaction, my language towards you, we say on this app all the time that somebody's triggers is not somebody else's problem. And you've held that against me for years because you felt triggered at the fact that I stood up for my fucking self and did not allow you to continue to overtalk, to continue to deflect, to continue to refuse to speak to us by kicking us and blocking us out of the live. And again, it wasn't until mediators came in that we were able even to get anywhere. And yes, I did think that it was done until Dontrell held that live. And it did upset me because even if you thought you were having a conversation privately with your friend, because it came out to the light, you talked about me the same way that you talking about me now. Made it sound like I was fucking abusing you, that we was disparaging you. And that didn't, and I'm hearing now that it didn't even have anything to do with me. It had everything to do with the fact that you experienced trauma from somebody the fuck else that I have no idea
Had to
about.
do with you.
Bro.
It is because of the previous trauma that I recognize what was going on with you, why you were a red flag. We keep doing this
Oh,
thing
okay,
now.
so
We're
nobody got
shifting
trauma but you,
to
but being
Ambrose
screamed
Mama
at
right
by
now.
several men at one time is perfectly
I
fucking
don't think
fine.
he's.
Bro,
I don't think
what?
he's saying that you don't got no trauma.
No,
I
I'm
think
not.
he's just
No, but
saying
that was
that.
the problem though, because that was part of the conversation that we had. We've had this conversation before where it seemed as though you were only taking in your own experiences without recognizing that other people have experiences too, and being yelled at by a man can fucking be fucking triggering. So you goddamn right
That's
I
fair.
turned up.
That's fair.
Right.
But
So
I ain't
yeah, I
mad at
turned
you.
up. I absolutely did. Just like today. And
I'm in a
you don't
soft
know
spot.
what kind of triggers it is. People don't have to explain that though. But then it shouldn't matter whether or not people have triggers or trauma. It's you can still recognize that you did not come into the conversations innocently. And it wasn't like somebody just started hollering and screaming at you and attacking you and calling you names for no fucking reason. Go ahead, Black Swan.
If
Say something, I'll go after you.
I was just gonna tell Solid, if you're confused about something, ask about it.
Just the phrase "people's trauma don't matter" took me aback. That's all.
Okay, I don't. Never mind. Never mind. Go ahead. Black Swan.
think I think I don't think that Queen has been unreasonable in this conversation at all in any way, shape, or form. And I think that Queen, along with myself and many other Black women and Black femme presenting people, understand that it is very, very difficult to share our experiences and have conversations about things like this where our behavior is addressed in a certain way. And I think that that's what we're watching play out. I think that what Queen is saying is that basically, like, the situation that you had walked into, there was really no need for you to come into that situation in the way that you did. And I think that that's something that we have seen as like a fallout of all of this stuff with Jones. I think that there's been discussions that women are having, or women and femme presenting people. Hold on.
You good? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when I was in that live earlier, I think that there was conversations being had and things were kind of, unraveling, but it was for that specific group of people to figure out amongst themselves. I think that there's been a lot that has transpired as a result of the situation with Jones. And I think it was perfectly fine for them to have the conversation that they wanted to have. And I think that, like, I understand, Solid, you want to jump in and save. I get that. But at the same time, you can't toe the line of, like, taking away your friend's, autonomy or a victim's autonomy in these situations. Do you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Can I also ask you this? Yesterday, his live, you didn't want to see anybody address him, did you? On his panel.
I didn't want the nigga on the app to re-traumatize people. Like, the whole point is you supposed to ding dong the witches dead. Like, the whole point is that nigga. I'm not gonna say too much more, but like,
I get that.
this shit was pissing me off because everything the nigga did was to garner sympathy. Like, every move that nigga made was to garner sympathy.
I know. I felt the same way, but
And it was like, and in my mind, I'm thinking like, yo, no matter what, he gonna get that shit off, right? And it's cool. Like, listen, if it's cathartic for the survivors to get that shit, that's their shit. That's their shit. Do your thing. Do your thing. You know what I'm saying? But then I'm watching the nigga gifts go up. I'm watching niggas like speak up for the nigga in the comments. And I'm like, fuck, bro. Like, and when it, like, I knew it was coming, right? Because when I had called him, he woke up no Raz to put no Raz on the phone with me, right? He, like, as a habitual, like, he'll use women as shields. And films, he'll use women in films as shields to, like, hey, do the talking for me so I ain't got to, you know what I'm saying? And so I knew the very first time that nigga mentioned he had to go check on his daughters, I knew this shit was coming. And I was hot. I was like, the whole shit. I was like, yo, I'm just fucking hot. So I'm in the comments, I'm in the request, and all I could think to type is, I'm in all caps, leave the app. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, fuck nigga, leave the app. Like, you dig what I'm saying? Like,
I get it.
I was defenseless. I'm like, I'm in the Discord. Like, what do y'all need from me? Like, I'm in text message. What you need? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm defenseless.
I get it.
Now, I will say, when Peach got to say they piece, Peach was doing a great job of just kind of like directing the ship. And I was like, I don't think y'all get how proud I am. Like, I'm so fucking proud of Peach, and I'm so, like, it's a big deal. Like, it's a big deal that Peach finally get back to the app and gets to put their truth out there, because this is a year in the making. This is over a year in the making where they done broke down on me behind this shit.
I understand. I think.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. What was you about to say, Swan? I'm sorry.
This is just my observation. I think that there is a lot of emotions that you have surrounding this situation that have to be dealt with, because I know for myself, people like that, you just want them 6 feet under, you know? You just want them 6 feet under so they don't harm another person. And I get that about you, but
Not advocating for nothing illegal.
no, I know. Yeah, no, this is, just whatever. Yeah, y'all get what I'm saying. But I think that, and I could be wrong, and correct me if I am, but I think those emotions have to be dealt with, because I think right now they're coming out in ways that are harmful towards others, I think. And that, like, that conversation that they were having in the live where Queen and Wawa and everybody was earlier, when I was in that conversation, I was listening to women talk about the roles that we play, and our actions if we are male centered, or if we're internalizing misogyny and all of those things. And I think that that's a conversation that women need to have with women and femme presenting people. And I think that that's a conversation that we should be able to have without anybody coming in, right? And I think that that is maybe what you had missed, is that was a constructive conversation. It wasn't something that was just drama. And I think that is a conversation that we do have to have with each other as women and femme presenting people. And I think that that's like, because you have those emotions, and because you have the triggers that you have, maybe you're coming into the situation wanting to save, but instead of saving, it doesn't come out right. Right?
Right. So
You
I
know what
just
I'm saying?
cause more damage.
Yes. Calling Queen assigning that aggression to her before she even joined the panel was very, very triggering for me. And the reason why it was triggering for me is because, I'm sorry, I can unmute them real quick. I'm sorry, I just get like super sidetracked when I'm trying to. Okay, she's good. You guys can let her know that she's good. Yeah, I think what was I saying? What was the last thing that you had said? I'm sorry. I mean,
I'm coming in trying to be a super nigga, and then
yes.
end up causing more damage than I do good.
Yes, and your friends have autonomy. I think that sometimes too, men don't realize, like, when they want to. We were having this conversation on Athena's live earlier today. You want to jump in and save the situation, right? But I think what really needs to happen, and this is obviously these situations, right? They're the symptoms of a major issue, and that major issue is men reflecting on their own actions and behaviors first. You know what I mean? A lot of times we have these discussions and we're ready to call somebody out for the things that they do, but do we address ourselves in the same way? Not necessarily. You know what I mean? And I think that, like, again, I'm going to reiterate what I'm witnessing here. Queen having to explain herself over and over like this, I don't think it's fair, and I definitely think it is 100% misogynoir. I do think it is misogynoir, 100%. And that may be hard for you to hear right now, but it is something that you have to reflect on if you are someone who's going to hold yourself accountable, and if you are someone who is going to want to not be harmful towards women. Does that make sense? I say, yeah, no, just assigning that aggression to her in front of hundreds of people, hearing you say you don't want to have the conversation because she's going to perpetuate reactive abuse towards you. We didn't see any of that here. We did not see any of that here. None of it. You hear me?
I do. I think it's important to I just think it's important to know who you do and don't need to stay away from. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's a problem with, I think it was a problem with me jumping up on the panel.
Problem when the issue is only with you.
Huh?
You weren't leaving room for people to make their own assessment based off of your interactions with me. That's why it wasn't fair. And your interactions with Wawa. And I will
This is
say
my,
it again, but I
this
know that
is off of
Swan
my
just said
interactions
that.
with you. That's
And
what
that's
is
but that's not
happening?
how that works. You said you think it's fair for people to hear about XYZ, but your interactions with me were based off of number one, your own feelings and trauma and triggers that I'm not responsible for, and number two, your inability to recognize the fact that I'm reacting to you and the other people that were in these panels over these several different lives that were coming at me and yelling at me.
Okay, so
So
let me see if I
we're not.
understand what you're saying. You saying that basically I put the angry black woman trope on you before you had a chance
Yes.
to show me any other.
Yeah, you admitted that you did earlier when you said, "Oh, I had my own issue with you, Massage Noir." You
Oh yeah,
absolutely did, based off of
besides
the
why I
fact
was
that you
always
didn't
a
like
play. Yeah,
how I
like
was speaking to you. Yeah, you did. You put
yeah,
that label on me and Wawa because of the way that we spoke when we were not being heard, when we were being called liars, when we were being told that, when I was being told that I did something that I did not do, when she was being told, whether you remember it or not, that she would disparage a black man by posting the receipts because we were unable to be heard in the live and show the receipts in the live. That we were called attackers and abusers and all of these different things. Even if you didn't want the conversation with Dontrell to make it to the app, it did. And the things that you said to him about me was the reason why he was angry, because he felt that way about me based off of what you said and wanted to hold a whole live calling me out. You admitted that he held that live out of anger. So what happened in that live and the way that I was speaking was absolutely because I'm not gonna let no man talk to me fucking crazy. And that's the bottom line of it. You got blocked out of Wawa's live because of how you acted. You did not respect her boundary when she said, do not use that word in here. You wanted to argue with her why you should be able to. And it got heated. So I blocked you out of there, as anybody would do, because the live was important to her and you turned it into something else. And because you could not handle the boundary and you could not handle the fact that she was telling you not to say it, you wanted to bring up other people's names. You made that side ass quip and expected people to stay cool and collected. And you took that and acted as if you did not do anything wrong and that you were just being attacked. And you held that over me to the point where you felt like you needed to warn other people.
literally. Okay, I have misogynoir when I deal with you. I have misogynoir when I deal with Sean. I got misogynoir when I deal with Swan, with Adorna, with my wife. Me and you ain't that.
But that doesn't change the fact that the things
I'm
that you said
telling you,
about me was based off of an
misogynoir
interaction
is
that you
always
didn't
at
take
play, but
accountability for.
it is specifically, and it just may be like personality types just don't mix, and that's fine. That's okay.
I think they're saying Joy was blocked. If it was fine and it was okay, then we could have left it at me and you, but you roped other people into it based off of our interaction. You labeled me as drama and messy based off of lives that you didn't have context about, based off of a conversation that you did not take responsibility for the way that the conversation started and ended. That's what I'm speaking about. You're not taking accountability for the fact that the argument only happens in Wawa's live because you want to challenge her on her setting a boundary and asking you not to say the word.
Okay.
But I said all of that. But then Swan says exactly what I said, but it's understood. So, yeah, I don't think that there will be a resolution, um, because it doesn't seem as though there has been any accountability about this language that you say that I use without taking accountability of how the conversation started.
How is it not accountability when I say I took? Okay, let me unequivocally take accountability. When I made the quip, that was wrong. I think sometimes I forget I'm a 6'3", 280-pound guy. And so I'm starting to like, okay, I think maybe sometimes I come off as much more aggressive than I intend to be.
Oh, that's weird because that's exactly the same thing you thought about me. So you want me to recognize that you didn't mean to, but it wasn't recognized that.
I tell you what, let's you and me trade. Let's recognize that about each other. Queen, I did a misogynoir against you. And I assigned the angry black woman trope against you because of my implicit biases and my inherent anti-blackness from being raised as a cishet black man in America. And that's fucked up, and I'm sorry about that. Because what I hear you saying is you didn't get a fair shake from me. What I hear you saying is that I'm not taking accountability for my portion in it. So I get hot sometimes. I think I come off as really aggressive. I don't mean to be aggressive. Just like even when I was talking to Ari, like I was like, yo, so what does restorative justice look like for you? I didn't know I was coming, but I did. I didn't know I was coming off that way, but I did. Hold on. Now the shit think I'm spam. It's a lot. There's a
Yeah.
lot I gotta fix. It's a lot I gotta fucking work on. Like, I mean, it's like it ain't never not being some shit I had to work on. That's the whole fucking point of this shit. I went from, listen, when I offed them people in Iraq, I came home feeling like a fucking monster because I took people's lives, right? I've been working. I've been working since 2010. I'm gonna keep working. I'm gonna fuck up again. Not because I want to. Not because
Why is this always the
not because I'm trying
excuse,
not to fuck up
though?
again, because I'm definitely gonna be trying to not fuck up again.
Yeah, but why is this always the ending to some of these conversations where it's like, I know it. I'm a straight man. I'm gonna be misogynistic. Charge it to my head and not my heart.
Is it
Why does it
fuck
always
charge it to
come
my head and
down
not
to
my heart?
that?
If you don't fuck with me after that or because of that, that's probably a good thing.
But that's where we are here, Solid.
And
That's
then
why we're here
so then
today. We're
that's
here
just
today
something I
because
gotta take.
you felt like I should not have. We're here today because you felt as though I should not continue to speak up about the shit that happened because you felt it was resolved. Or you're saying, like, well, this is just how it is, right? Like, this is what I'm born into and I'm working
So,
on it every
so it's
day.
not
We're
resolved for
here
you.
because you considered it to be drama for me to continue to speak up about these things. But I'm speaking up about these things because they keep
Here we go
happening.
again. No. You know what? Fine. Am I saying it wrong? When you do the drama, you do the drama. When you're not doing the drama, you're not doing the drama. You can very well do some noble shit, but also every once in a while do a little bit of messy talk.
Like everybody else on this app.
Okay, so then I don't know when that's gonna come out. I panicked, got upset, fucked up. You know what I'm saying? My friend right there. Hey, don't forget what the other friend said. Don't forget what I said. Don't forget, like, be careful. Just be careful.
So that couldn't have been a text message or email you had to perform on
It
that
fucking
live.
should have been. Boy, it should have been.
Solid, you sound a little dismissive right now. I'm not gonna lie to
I'm
you.
gonna keep it a bean. It's 2:35 in the morning. Like, you're not gonna get the best version of me. Like,
I mean, I
if you
see. I
know,
just
I'm
want.
gonna like, if you know, you know. If you know me, you know. You know
I
I'm this
mean,
and I'm that. You
But
know,
I could say the
you
same
know,
though.
you know
I
I'm
could
this
say the
and I'm
same.
that.
I could also say the same. I can rope in all the people who
Yeah,
know
yeah.
me
So then make
to
it,
try to
then
justify the
make the
things that I
decision.
said, but at least I can stand on business for the fact that I know what I said. I know that I called you names. I know that I yelled and screamed, but that doesn't matter. How other people see me, how other people feel about me doesn't fucking matter. We can both say the same. If you know me, then you know I didn't mean it like that. Absolutely, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. But we're in this situation because you did not like the way that you were spoken to, and it reminded you of a past trauma that you had, as if how I was speaking to you is not how
You
all
bringing
people
up.
would speak to somebody who
That
was
is the
yelling at
marker
them.
that I have. Yes. I feel like we keep going back there as though that is the cause and not directly your behavior.
I think that what is
Talking
being said
about
is
the
that
stretching of the truth. I'm talking about the inflammatory language. That's all. That's all. Why can't Slim? All of this shit is true. All of this shit is true. I put the angry black woman trope on you. I did the massage war. Also, you wasn't telling the shit how it actually went down.
I
You
was,
judged
and
it
I
up a little
still am
bit.
to this day.
You judged it up a little bit.
There's no judge. There's no judge, but
Okay.
we've already established that.
It's
And
not
when I
true.
was going through it through the timeline, you started getting not frustrated, but you started getting exasperated as if I wasn't getting to the point. When I was asking you those questions, you're like, "Oh, what's the point? Well, why are you asking this? Well, what's the reason?" When that's the whole reason why I was going through it from beginning to end, because there's nothing has changed.
But it did
Nothing
though.
has changed. No, nothing has changed.
Okay.
What you don't
And now
remember
we back to
does not change the experience, and that
crazy.
is we're not going circular. If you're going to keep bringing up the fact that I'm not telling the truth, then I'm going to continue to defend the fact that I am. If you don't want it
Wait,
to
but you've
continue to be
already conceded
circular,
to several different things
I
that.
didn't concede to anything. I said if we can't agree on that, then fine. We don't
Okay,
need to
so you're
keep
saying
talking
if
about
we
the parts
can't
that don't
agree on
agree.
certain things, certain details, but some of these details are pertinent.
If we don't agree on the certain details, then there's no sense in continue to go back to them, because
Right.
you keep bringing up the fact that, like, well, you ain't been telling the truth. You ain't telling the truth. No, I am telling the absolute fucking truth. I've never thrown in anything extra, because
that's
what
why.
happened is enough. I don't need to put 10 on, I don't need to put 20 on 10. The issue is already enough. Even if we only stop at the fact that you argued with Wawa on the use of the word coon, that's enough.
I bet.
We don't need all of the extra. So I don't need to put 20 on 10. That's exactly what the fuck happened. I don't need to
Yeah.
do extra to try to make you look bad, because the purpose was never to make you look bad. I never went around campaigning for people not to talk to you. I've never come into your lives to say that you are not equipped to host these spaces and that people shouldn't listen to you. That's not the
You've
goal.
been on your shit though. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind.
I've been on my live speaking about what happened. Yes, that is not campaigning against you. That is speaking to people who are mutuals with me about my experience. So let me ask you a question. Has anything that I have said caused people to come to your lives and troll you or disparage you?
Yes,
When?
we're here.
I'm here. Nobody
What time did
brought
we
you
start this
here.
line? 11 o'clock.
Well, that's not what I asked you, though. I asked you when I'm on my
You
lives
asked if
talking to,
anything you've ever said has caused people to come to my show, my shit.
and you're
Fuck you
talking about
mean, man?
today. You think that they're here because of what I'm saying, or you think
Niggas done
they're
came to my
reacting in the
shit
comments based off of what you're
talking about I
saying?
let a white woman buy me.
Who
What are we
said?
do?
That's what
What
I'm
are we
asking.
doing, bro? Like what
Yeah,
are we
that's what I
doing?
was asking for clarification. Like, why are we acting confused?
It. I.
I'm asking because I'm not in your spaces. So if you're saying yes, that people came to your live today, you think
Him
that that
and
was
previously, people talking about you let a white woman buy you, or you bought and paid for and shit like that. And I'm gonna be like, what the fuck?
since this live started or previous to that?
Like we talking about since you started saying that.
You said today. Which one is it?
Both.
You couldn't remember that it was
It
both
don't
30
have to be
seconds
what
ago.
you don't have. What are you doing? What are you talking about?
I think he was just giving an example of today, but he's saying that it's happened both times before and also today.
Okay, so but I said that because that was my opinion. If someone says that they won't hold somebody accountable because they were a main
I think it
contributor
was
to their
just.
crowd fund,
I
that's not
think
a lie though.
How much money did she send to my
he
crowdfund?
said.
I don't think it matters because you even said
How
in
much
this
money
live that
did
she
Dan
was,
Trail send to my crowdfund?
you didn't name him. So why would I name him in this
How
situation? It
much
wasn't,
money?
if you would have
I
said that
I
about
think if
Dontrell, I
we're
would have
gonna
said the same thing.
if we don't want
How
to
much money did
rehash.
Sebastian
Hold
send
on,
to my
hold on.
crowdfund?
If we don't want to which it seems like we don't, because every time we do, it goes to, all right, we're not going to agree on that. If we don't want to figure out the Christie situation, then I
No, but we
then
don't
Queen
have to.
just
Okay,
told
but hold on,
Jill.
Sean. We don't have to name every single person that
He
has
was correct
contributed
about me.
to any crowdfunding because that wasn't the topic. The
yeah,
topic was specifically about that person. So trying to deflect by saying, well, what about Dontrell?
If
Well,
we,
what about this
yeah,
person?
like, so
And
I
then
said that.
and no, because that's not no, because you cannot do
You're picking
that because
apart what
we're
I'm
specific.
saying,
I
though. If
think.
I
Hold on,
say
hold
How
that's
on,
am I
hold
my
on.
picking apart
friend,
what you're saying when you was
and
literally
this
sitting
is
here
a
whispering and
credifier
fucking
about
carrying the one in your head? I
why
just
this is
seen
my friend.
you.
What are you talking about? What are you? Oh my God!
Hold on. Because
Listen,
if we're not gonna,
because
this
we're
is
gonna
what I
shut
was
up.
saying.
It's too easy.
If we're
You are
hold up.
absolutely right about my misogynoir. You're absolutely right about me putting the angry black woman trope on you, and that is something that I have to take accountability for. Period. But if I just don't like you, I just don't like you. Why are we doing? Why are we still doing this?
She just had asked a question, and the answer. I don't think the answer was clear to her, which is why I was saying what I was saying. The I think he was just answering your question. And if you say, Queen, that that a white woman bought and paid for him, then he's going to then say, like how you said before, he's going to then say, like, the recounting of events like he remembers. And if we don't want to figure it out, which it doesn't seem
But
like we
I
do,
admitted to making that statement because that is how I felt about the statement that he made
I'm
when
not
he
talking about the
said, when,
statement.
then what are we talking about? Because that's my
I'm,
opinion and I stated that. I said it. I never deflected from the fact that I made those statements.
I didn't. I don't think you deflected. Wait, what do you think
Maybe
I'm
I
saying?
am confused.
What I said was, like, I'll
Because
try to
it's
make it clear.
late, Queen.
I'll try and
Hmm?
make it clear.
Because it's late.
I'll try and make it clear so we can do this. I think what he was saying, you had asked a question, said, uh, has your actions ever caused people to troll him? He said yes. Before in the past and also today, there have been trolls in the comments. That is true. But uh, when he said that, it was like you then said, so me saying that you defending a white woman doing X, Y, and Z, which was the Christie situation, um, caused this behavior in the trolls. And it was
Right.
just more so the fact that he and you recall this situation differently. Like he and you recall this situation.
Wawa, I understand the talking point, Wawa. I understand the talking point. I just don't think that's what actually happened.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
that's the
I
whole
mean,
point. And
and
so
that's
when
where
you say
the
that,
disconnect is
that's
because
when he
at the end of the day,
goes.
like that's I mean, that's just what it is. Like I'm
That's what he meant, right? And that's
not remembering doesn't make me a liar, and that's my problem. Not
I
remembering
haven't.
or believing that that's the way that the conversation went doesn't mean that I'm putting extras on it to disparage you or slander you. That does not, you not thinking that that's the way that it went down does not mean that I'm purposefully adding extra information into the story in order to make you look bad.
Do we
That
have the
is,
recording? Because I feel like if we just put out the recording,
the recording would have to come from you, and it was so long ago that you would have had to download it your live. Like that, it was that
Wawa,
like
Wawa, you said you had the clip. Do you have the clip? Because that would solve so much of this, and then we could just move on.
Yeah, I think
Either I
if
gotta go like,
we
oops, I
resolve,
guess I
but
was,
okay, but
I
the
guess I
question
was shucking
is,
and jiving like a
but the
motherfucker.
question is clear
Or
to Wawa's question is a good question. How would we know that this happened if you didn't tell us
what are you talking
wait,
about?
what?
about you said that you don't remember saying that about Christy. How would we know that she helped you pay your mortgage if you did not tell
No,
us?
that's not what
I've
he's
I've
saying.
never
That's the
denied
whole
Jesus
saying
Christ,
point.
can
that.
he tell us what he's saying?
I never denied
I,
saying that. I've absolutely. I'm pretty sure I probably said something along the lines of, "Hey, y'all, it's just my friend trying to console me, trying to comfort me. They're just my friends, a really good friend actually. They donated quite a bit to my mutual aid when I was trying to keep my house. I was out of work for a month. They helped me out, right? That's probably what the fuck happened, right? But this grandiose tale of like me and my white woman were commiserating over the use of anti-blackness, and I was like, "Go ahead, keep being anti-black, baby. Just keep sending me that money, right?" Like that's just not what was going on, Slim. And like I just don't remember it that way.
But that's not what I
If we
said
just
though.
had the recording, if we just had the clip, because I'm not gonna be able to get it, and I didn't screen record. Apparently, one of y'all did. Can we please just
But
release
that's not
the
what I said
recording?
though at
That
all.
way,
That's not.
that way we either prove that I'm the world's largest Steven, or we find out that it's probably like not that damning. You know what I'm saying? It's probably like off-putting to watch me be so nice to a fucking white woman. You know what I'm saying?
Are we serious right now?
You know what I'm saying? One of the two is
look,
gonna
look,
happen.
look.
I
Are you
feel like
fucking
we should
serious right
just.
now? Are you
Can
really
we
trying to
please
sit up
just
here and
release
say
the?
that? Are
Can we
you really
please
trying
just
to sit
release
up
the
here and
clip,
say that we
please?
were mad that you were friends with a fucking white woman?
Of course
No,
Like,
not.
no, he
Of
said that
course
about the
not. Of
clip.
course not. Of course not. I
He
think you were upset that a white woman was in black folks' business,
no,
and I
what big?
think, and
No,
I think, I,
no.
I think you were upset that a white woman was in black folks' business. And in the comments, you were saying, "Get the fuck on out of here!" Like,
How can she be in black folks' business if she wasn't
and then
commenting
I
on
was
what you were
saying,
saying? Solid.
"Hey guys, it's cool. It's not like that. I'll handle her. I'll make sure that she's not doing all of this shit. Just like let me. She's my friend.
Is
She
this
donated to my
for?
mutual fund.
Is this for real? Is the mic on? Because
Listen,
how is
we
she
will
in black
never
people
know
business?
until
hold
we
on,
see the clip. Can
hold
Wawa
up,
play
hold
the
up,
Of
clip
because you
course,
again?
and
are
this
asking for
is
the clip.
Because I
You
yeah,
don't
are
have
asking
it.
for that.
yeah,
I
of
I don't
think
even have that
course.
account anymore.
I think that I don't know if the clip is actually available. I do want to ask Wawa if she has the clip. I guess.
Maybe I was on the
What he
live
was
like,
saying was,
don't you say
solid.
nothing bad about my
Hold
white woman. She
hold up,
See,
keeps
now we
me
solid.
playing.
fed
Now
and
we fucking
clothed and in the
Solid,
playing.
house.
solid,
Now we
Maybe
fucking
solid.
that's what
playing.
happened. That we'll
Now
never
we
know.
fucking playing.
Please. I'm just saying. What are we
Solid,
doing?
solid.
Why do we keep going back and forth?
I'm not trying to go back and forth. I'm just asking if somebody got the whatchamacallit. And he was saying all that, Queen, about the tape. He was saying that either the tape is going to show that he was like that you're correct or that he's correct is all he was saying.
No, that's not all
Um,
he was saying. And this shit is getting fucking old, bro. Like that's not all he was saying. The
what was
way that it is equated is when white people say, I'm just horrible. I'm just a terrible racist. Oh, everybody hates me. That's exactly what the fuck just happened. Or we're either gonna find out that I'm the biggest Steven in the world or that you were just misunderstood and didn't like the fact that I was talking to a white
that's
woman. I can hear
fair.
very fucking well.
I mean,
I can
that's
hear what
yeah,
is
that's
happening here.
fair.
I do not need an interpreter.
I'm not saying you need an interpreter. You just said something. It sounded like you were confused earlier because you were like, "Are you serious? We're mad
Oh
that
no,
you're friends with a
I
white
was not
woman." And I
confused.
was like,
That
"No."
was hyperbole of like, are we kidding?
Oh, okay,
Are
okay. I
you kidding me right
misunderstood. That
now?
was my fault.
Are we being fucking for real? What the
Well, I thought you
heliante?
were saying. I thought you were saying that. I knew that that part was hyperbole, but I thought you were saying it literally like we're not just mad because you're friends with a white woman because you thought that's what he
Correct.
was
So that
saying.
means that I'm clear on what he is saying. I'm not confused. I'm clear because I'm able to relay back to him what he is saying. I'm not confused.
Wait, that's
My
not what he was saying.
exclamation, that is what he was saying. That is exactly
No,
what he was saying.
no, no.
Can I
That's not
say
what he
what I
was.
was saying?
That's why I tried to clarify
Can I say
because
what I
that
was
wasn't
saying?
what he was saying. Sure, sure.
Yeah, I was saying either the clip is going to prove that what happened is being misrepresented, or the clip is going to prove that Wawa and Queen are 100%, or at least 90%, right? Are more. One of us is going to be right. I'm not even trying to give you. I'm not even trying to make it like I'm a fucking saint, right? I'm not even giving up. Like I'm not even like. I'm still leaving in coddling a white woman in black business. I'm still leaving that in, right? You're recording in the comment. Do you have the recording of the live? Because we could.
Yeah, wow. I'm sorry. I don't know what that means. I've been looking for your comment, but I've been glazing over. Um, just yes or no if you got the clip. I don't.
So
Well, you as a black man
this
are
is what
being
I've been
coddled
trying
by
to
a black
say
man.
before. I made this clear before.
Wait a minute.
If
What?
we come to the live because Chrissy is saying this. The recordings of the live, if I'm to recall what Wawa said, is after we have already joined the
Did I
box.
tell you that?
The
Like,
comments that she made were not clipped. Just
Okay.
the
So no.
recording
So
after we
okay.
have correct. So we don't have the clip of her co-signing the
My bad. I didn't mean to
conversation.
pester you. I didn't mean to pester you. I'm sorry. I did hear someone say we have the recording in the last live, and I thought they meant the recording of Solid saying that a white woman or a white woman doing the thing, whatever it was, like the white woman
Hmm.
saying that you could
allows
say it,
her to
whatever.
say
I thought it did sound like that was the
that it's
recording
okay to
that was
call
had.
black people coons.
I didn't mean to. Yeah, yeah. I didn't mean to pester you for it. I'm sorry.
So
I just
we don't have that.
He said it's
no,
me,
no.
her, Switch Witch, and Cindy and Christy and Solid.
Wait,
Which
what?
That's
is
what
in
she
there?
just said. She said it's Sis, Witch, and Cindy in Solid's live.
I don't.
Which?
I, I, I don't know what
Which
that
which
means.
which which is the username. I
Right,
think he
right,
goes
right.
by
Yeah, let's
something
see.
else
Who
now.
else?
Wawa said let her up.
Yeah,
I'm
let's
sorry,
do
this is
that.
really fucking annoying.
Which?
Solid,
Who is it?
I get banned this fucking night. And I have to literally I have to go and challenge my ban. I get banned after you get blocked. And then you guys come over, you start your live, you Witch and Cindy Lou Who are in the live and you guys are talking about what happened on my live. We end up listening, we get banned, we come over to your live. I am in the comments because I am banned. And I only have one fucking account, so I can't be in the box. So I start recording at that point. Then Cabria gives me her account, so I get in and we have the conversation. So the part that you're talking about is after I'm already in there, because I hear you say it. So I don't have it recorded because I was in the box then.
Okay.
So what you guys are your discrepancy, I can't clear up your discrepancy. I can clear up the fact that yes, we're talking about the C word conversation. You, Sis, and I think Papa Juan gets up here at one point. Cabria gets up. It was a wild fucking night. Solid. And so when you're saying, oh, I said, oh, we can't, no, that's not what you said. You said that you have a hard time correcting her, and you told us about what she did for you and how she helped you, and you felt indebted because you were looking for the word. You kept saying, I can't find the word. And you said indebted, and you felt indebted. And we was like, hold on, bro, what you saying? You paid for it. That's exactly how it went. And we hashed this out on Dan Trail Solid. We fucking did. And yes, you said you told D not to host that fucking live, but he did. He used me as bait. Like, why are we acting like this shit didn't go down the way it went down?
He used you as
We,
bait.
yes, he
Wait,
even said that in the
Yes.
live. He used me as bait. He said it in the live. He said, I used you as bait to get to Queen because we really don't have an issue with you because Solid, he kept trying to say that I made you apologize. You got in the box. You were like, nah, me and Wall, we hashed this out. This was cool. We were good. D, I told you it wasn't like that. And he was like, well, I guess I used you as bait to get Queen in October, who is now king, or who used to be king at the time, in the live. We hashed this shit out. That's why I don't understand when you're saying I'm in drama and I'm all this shit. Nigga, this was in January 3rd of 2023. The precise date. And the time is at 1:50 in the motherfucking morning. I am trying to understand how, and since that date, I've been in drama, I've been in all this shit. When?
That's when, because I was still smoking squares.
You was a mess.
Correct.
That day, I don't
And
know
you
what the
was on
fuck
the
you was
live.
doing, but you was a
Yes.
mess. And Solid, what I don't understand is, what have I been doing? Why is it that you only seem to see me in mess?
Because
The only
every
shit
time
that
I
I've been
see
in,
you, it's over the
no,
bullshit.
there's no way. There's no way that you're talking about me when the niggas that I run with every day that love to be in mess and shit know better. There's no way. If you're talking about what happened with Banana, when Phoenix was being shut down by people that were not black,
While you was
that was
making
it.
yourself the arbiter of what was and wasn't anti-black, while you was kicking it with Tyler Bluntman, like, can we not, bro?
Wait, why do I go to Tyler Bluntman's server? Why?
Can we
Is it
not,
because
bro?
black people are hosting a live where I can't defend myself with my name in the background? Motherfuckers are calling my child a monkey, saying my child's not black, and
That's
doing all
fucking
that. I was getting
What?
threats thrown at me. Is that why I go?
Correct.
Is that why I am
So
told?
you
Is
went
that
to
why?
Tyler Bluntman shit?
No, is that why the conservatives have to host a space so I can see what's being? Oh, so I went to Tyler Bluntman, but all this shit, these threats and all this shit that y'all are fucking talking about, and then you host panels with him, nigga. That was 4 years ago. Get the fuck out of here.
What? So
Get
now
the
it
fuck
was
out of
4
here.
years ago.
hold up.
Don't do
I
that.
think
Solid, that had
I
nothing to
think
do
you
with
should
you.
address real quick. Solid. You should address what's being said. You're doing some whataboutism right now.
That's all he does because what did I do? What did I do to you, Solid?
You around Queen?
I'm around, so you want to police who I'm around?
Y'all say
I
no. You
no,
say
I am
what have you
grown.
done?
No,
What have you done?
Solid.
What have
I
you done?
Solid.
I'm
I am
telling you why
grown. I will not. No,
why
no,
I
no. Hold
don't
on.
rock
Hold
with you.
on. This
That's
is my
it.
problem. This
Wait,
is
why
my
you got a
problem.
problem with me not rocking with you?
I don't have an issue. I have an issue with you coming into a live where I'm a fucking mod and making narratives about me. That's what I have a
No
fucking issue with.
narrative.
I don't
You
have
be
it.
around
Yes,
the
that's
niggas
what
that
you
be
did.
messy.
You made a narrative about me, and you don't know what the fuck I have going on. The
You
people that be
be
in my lives
around
know what I
the
have going
niggas
on.
that be
No,
messy.
no, no, no. Because of who I'm around. So then you're around anti-black people, so you must be anti-black.
Y'all
You
gave
don't give a
so
fuck
much court
about
to the
all of
Irish.
Banana's anti-black shit, so
Well,
you are
You
anti-black.
gave yeah,
You
here
don't
we
give a
go.
fuck about the
Solid.
doctrine and all the weird shit that
Don't do
they
it
be
over
doing in
talk.
Discord,
Man,
so you are
I
also that.
don't got time for this, bro.
That's what you're
Solid.
saying.
Solid.
Solid,
Don't
that's what
do
you're
it over talk.
saying. That's what
It's
you are
too
saying,
much.
sir.
I'm
Be
overstimulated
fucking for
as
real.
fuck.
Your
Like,
issue
calm
with me
down.
is that I'm
All right,
around
let's
Queen. You don't get to
let's
tell me
just
who to be
chill.
around. No, he does not get to tell me who to be around. That's controlling. You are not my husband. You are not my man. This is my phone.
Ain't
This is
nobody
my phone.
telling you
Nah, I
Don't tell
don't.
me
to
who to be
be
around.
around.
Don't
I
do that.
just
That's
don't want to be
controlling.
around
That's
you
controlling.
because
Then, then
Solid.
don't be
Solid.
around
Let
me,
her
but don't spread a
finish.
narrative about me. Don't
Solid.
spread
Let
a
her
narrative
finish.
about me, bro. You haven't been around me in years and you want to spread a narrative. How come you are only around when something seems to be happening where people are looking for resolution? Why are you only around then? Why weren't you in my live earlier when we were talking about environmental racism? Why weren't you in there when we were reading Stamped? Why are you not around when shit productive is happening? But you want to paint a narrative about who I am? You don't know me.
was around, the shit wasn't productive.
No, you don't know me, but then you come here like you know me. Solid, you might have known a version of me. No, Solid. The difference between you and me is I don't pretend to know who you claim to be today. All I do is I base it off of how you behave. I don't pretend to know who you claim to be today. I'm not running around in these streets acting like you're the same Solid from fucking 2023. I don't know what the fuck you got going on. You did that. You paint that narrative. You don't fucking know me, sir.
Okay.
You don't know me. You don't know me. And you don't know
Yeah.
who I am.
All right.
And stop
Yeah,
doing that.
that's just as fair as somebody holding you accountable for the actions of Jones or Hog Boss because you were around them too.
Was I?
So now are you those things by proxy? That would be horrible to say.
Was I?
Right.
Are you?
No,
Let's.
was I though?
I don't. I've never really seen you around like Hog Boss and them, but like I get what they're saying. I get what they're saying. The point of what they're saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't be held accountable for people that you have lives with.
So
You
why
can't
am
be
I
held
not
account. You
allowed to
can't
be
be.
around? Why am I not allowed to avoid the niggas I want to avoid?
Then
You
why were
wasn't
you in a space
avoiding.
where
You
I'm
was
a mod
actively
today?
talking
Why were you in a
shit.
space where I'm a fucking mod
I
today?
don't know. I didn't know
Then
you was a
why were you
mod.
in there? Why were
I
you
was
in
in there
there?
before y'all even came up on the panel.
No,
I didn't know you was
No,
a
you
I'm a
mod.
mod
wasn't.
there. Doesn't that mean that I belong there more so than your ass?
We were on the panel
Those are
the
my
entire
friends. Nigga,
live.
who are you? I was there
Shoot.
all day.
Okay.
Why are you acting as if somebody else
I
caused
didn't
the
even
issues
know
of
you was
today
a
but
mod.
your own
I was there
actions?
before you
No,
even
no,
got
no.
up on the
Why are you
panel.
acting like somebody else? And I'm sick. I'm sorry, Sean. I love you, right? Love you down. But your own actions today caused all of this. I don't talk about the shit that happened all these years ago. I'm not like the motherfuckers you like to be around. How about that? I'm not like that. I
And
don't know
that's
who
not
you
a
are
true
today. And that's the
statement.
fucking difference. That's the fucking difference. Nobody would have known we ever had a fucking issue if you don't get up in that live and say what the fuck you said today.
Okay.
That's
And
not
that's
how
not
I
a true
roll,
statement.
Solid.
Wawa was already in the box. Like, the live was hosted by our friend, and we had been in the box since
When I got in
she
there,
started the live.
neither you nor Wawa was in the
You're
box.
talking about today?
Yeah, today.
You cannot be fucking
Now
serious.
y'all got on there
Oh,
and I
please,
stayed.
please, please.
Oh,
I can't. As
hell
soon as I
no.
ended my live today,
Hell
as soon
fucking
as I
no.
ended my live today, I go to Vonnie's live and then I get in the box. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
Okay.
Hell no. Because how the fuck, if we weren't in the box, then what the fuck was you warning Peach about if they wasn't up there talking to us? Use some logic.
When I get
Well,
out of the
you use
box,
some logic.
and
No,
when I get
you
out of the
use
box,
some logic
Peach
because
told
I was
me,
in there
"Oh
watching Peach. I
no."
didn't warn Peach about
When
shit
when
until
I
y'all
get out of
got
the
in the
box, when
box. What are
Wawa
you
gets out of
talking
the
about?
box, Peach says, "Why are you dropping? I wanted to talk to you." That's what Peach said to me in the comments.
Ooh,
You want those
grasping
comments too,
straws.
nigga?
Ooh,
I don't have
grasping
no.
So,
I don't. You. I
straws.
don't have any. I don't have any. Like, I can't sit here. Y'all been coddling this man for hours. I cannot sit here. We're not gonna sit here and repaint what happened today. None of this shit needed to come up. The shit could have been dead, but you wanted to defend your friend. And like you said in the comments, they hurt Jamie. That's what you said in the comments, talking about Banana. This is about Banana, and I'm gonna clock anti-blackness every fucking time. And if she can host a live about Phoenix for all them hours and all them days, or they can host a live about Phoenix for all them hours and all them days, and y'all can silence black women behind Jamie or behind Banana, whatever you want to call them, I'm gonna call anti-blackness. If you don't like it, then stay the fuck away from me.
Hey,
I was confused.
please.
I think what was being talked about. I'm confused. To catch up people in the comments because I was also confused. I think what Solid was saying was that he was watching the live before they ever went up and got
no,
in the
that
box.
ain't what the, that's not what
True.
the
I
See,
think
fuck he
that's just the problem.
said.
But
He's
that is
lying,
what I
and
said.
we.
Oh my
No, it's,
God.
that's not
no,
what you
it's
said. That's not what you
not.
said. That's not what you said. That's not what you said. Hold up, hold up, hold up. Listen. Because I think Swan might have been a little confused too about this. I don't mean to speak for you, Swan, but I was thinking, I was like, wait, what? But it was, I think Solid
Oh,
meant
it
that he
sounded
was
like saying I
watching
was in the box before they got in.
before they was in the box.
Oh,
Yeah,
no, no,
that's
no.
what it
Okay,
sounded
no.
He
like.
was
That's what
not.
it sounded
That's on
like.
me. That's on me. That's on me. I was watching the live before y'all hopped up.
There
So,
though.
so
Because
how is it
we literally,
possible?
she goes from the get go.
Y'all wasn't
We
in the box
share
when
this.
I when
This
I
is our
first
friend.
started
Like, what are you
watching the
guys
live.
talking
Y'all were
about?
not in
We
the
can check.
box.
Like, this is our friend. We can check the viewer list. Like, this is dumb. This is dumb
No,
to argue
nobody. I
about
don't.
because the reality is, you get into the box, you bring up some shit, you center your motherfucking self and your own fucking issues, and you're hiding behind the guise of trying to protect Peach when that's not what you were doing. You said in the comments, they hurt Jamie. This is about fucking Banana. That's what it's about. And if it's about Banana, Solid, I know you're gonna rock with Banana until your wheels fall off. I've been known that, and so I don't got shit to say to you. I don't have an issue with you over behind Banana. I have an issue directly with Banana because of anti-blackness. I can talk to Banana about that. If I don't see Banana, then I don't see Banana. Why the fuck are we fighting about it? Again, I don't like black labor for non-black people.
And why? And if you were in the live the entire time, what would make you think, back to Mimi's question, what would make you think that it was mess? You didn't think that they were having a productive conversation? If you were there the entire time, you would know that they weren't
I said I
invited
was
to the
there the
live for
entire
a
time.
show.
I didn't say I was there the entire time. I
Then
said
that means that
when I first started
you would have
watching
had
the
to, you would have
live.
had to. There's not possible because the panel was opened up at the very beginning of the live before the host
Yeah.
started doing the recap. So there's not possible for you to not have been there from the very beginning of the live and not seen Wawa and I in the box because Wawa
So
was
y'all
in the
started
box
off
the
the live
entire
in the
time.
box. Y'all,
No. She's saying that if you were there before they were in the
You know
box,
what the
then you
fuck
had
I'm
to be
then I
saying.
would have
watching
heard how
before.
it was going. I mean, I was in and out of
Correct.
it. I was in and out
She's
of the
just saying
Oh,
live.
that you
now
had
he
to be
was in and
there at the
out. You know
beginning of the
what?
live.
Solid, can we just be
No,
honest
because
here?
every
Just
time,
be for real.
because every time you interpret what the fuck he's saying, then that's when he doubled down, he doubled back. And at
And
this
listen,
point, I feel
Ollie.
like it's fucking
Wait, what?
intentional because now you're
No,
leading him to give
stop.
a different answer every time you speak up and try to feed this
Okay,
nigga
I'll
a
tell you what.
fucking
I'll tell you what. I'll
line
tell you
when
what.
he
I'll tell
get
you what.
caught slipping.
What?
Be for real here.
That's
The
not
truth
what
She
shouldn't be
was
this
saying
happened.
what you were
confusing.
saying.
The truth should not be this confusing. Solid. It's less embarrassing to just say you came up there because you know you feel like we hurt your friend Banana, and that's on you. You feel like you hurt your friend Banana, and you wanted to come at us. That's what you wanted. That's what you wanted, bruh. It didn't have
I
shit to
don't
do with
think
Peach.
that's.
I think that's exactly what he wanted.
Wait,
He
hold
came
up,
in there and
Queen.
that's
Didn't
what he
you
said
No,
first.
no, no,
What does him,
no,
hold
no,
on,
because we're
what does
trying
him
to.
trusting me or fucking Queen have to do with anything in a live where I'm a fucking mod and so is Queen? What? How come he knew how to call Peach after the nigga gets out off the live? He knew how to do it after.
It just
We're
didn't
gonna
occur
stop
to me.
acting. No, we're
It
gonna
just
stop
didn't occur to me.
infantilizing this man.
It just didn't
He
occur
Wait,
knows
to me.
exactly how to fucking use a phone.
It
He knows how to
just
get a
didn't
hold of
occur
Peach,
to me.
and he could have done what he needed to do.
It
You
just
wanted to
didn't
get in there
occur
and
to
you wanted
me.
to get your rocks off over
It
Banana.
just didn't occur to me.
wait,
I
wait,
was
wait.
Oh, it didn't occur
super.
to you? He says it
Didn't
in the
we
comments. He
say
brings up Banana. We ain't even talking about Banana ass.
he
We
did
ain't
bring
talking
up
about none of
banana
these
in the
motherfuckers
comments? So
that are being
wait.
centered now because of his actions.
Hold up, because I'm
See, all that goddamn
sort
yelling.
of kind of confused about something, and I want to ask Queen something. Is it okay if I ask you something, Queen? I thought the reason why we
Yes.
ended up. I thought the reason why we ended up. Maybe I'm tripping. I don't know. But I thought the reason why we ended up on the white woman on his live was because y'all had said something about the white woman on this live.
After he does all the shit he does about us. I have to explain myself
Yes,
Nah,
because
that
this
Sean.
was
nigga said what he
after.
said about me with no fucking evidence. Now wants me to play evidence to
Correct.
clear his fucking name. And I have to go back
Yes.
all this fucking history and tell him exactly why he doesn't like me because he doesn't say shit. He doesn't say shit because it's about Banana and not about him. And he knows we cleared this up. He's doing this shit behind Banana and he knows he looks stupid doing it.
I don't even
I
understand what
So
the fuck
yes,
that
if
is.
you're asking
wait.
me,
So,
so to clarify, Sean, if you're asking me, um, if this conversation here right now in this live starts because I bring up something in this live.
Wait, what? In this,
What was your
you talk.
question? Say, I'm sorry, say your question again.
Which I'm just saying, which live is this live? You're talking about this exact,
The one
this
we're in right now.
particular
Yeah.
live?
In
Okay,
hmm
Vonnie's
okay.
live?
No, this
No, no,
one
no,
right
no,
here,
no.
Okay.
Solid's live.
Okay,
What was
okay,
your
okay,
question,
okay.
Sean?
My question was that I thought it was agreed upon earlier, way earlier, like around, I don't even know. This live started whenever, like 12 o'clock, right? I thought that the reason why the white woman had come up in the first place to be talked about was because that was the reason why Solid went up on the live earlier. Because somebody
No,
said something
no,
about that.
solid comes in the live. So this is what happened. We have a live. We're recapping the Jones live, and the host is recapping his behavior and how she felt about it. The people who were involved came into the live and wanted to speak. There were
Uh-huh.
other people who wanted to speak to each other and hash out some things between each other. I say, instead of fighting amongst women, can we talk about where were the men who had smoke for Jones? And the host says, well, Solid did get in the live in the very beginning of
Right,
Jones's live.
right,
And so
right. Yeah.
they made a comment, and then Solid comes up, and that's when you hear him say, like, I
Wait,
don't
what was,
trust Wawa and Queen. And the
wait,
conversation, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. I'm sorry. What was the comment made?
By
I,
Vonnie, we're recapping his
I
live.
just told you.
Yeah, she's
Oh,
telling
just that he
us
went
what
up on the
happened.
live?
Yes,
I
that's what the
could have
comment.
sworn to God because I heard us talk about, and I even said that when he came up, I
Play it,
okay. Let
Joy.
me
Can you
just.
go get Belinda's clip of this goddamn live because we already replayed it in bolds. This is getting old. It's getting fucking old. And as a black woman, I don't. Why didn't he have to do all this when he was making accusations about me? I'm sick of this bullshit ass labor that
About
I
both
gotta
of
do to
us.
clear my fucking name for no fucking reason. All you need to do, Solid, is stand on your fucking toes instead of having a backbone full of fucking water and just
What do
say
you
you
want?
mad that people don't like your motherfucking friend who's anti-black and you want to stand beside them.
That's what you
Just say
want?
that.
That's what you want?
No, that's
All
what
right,
you
No,
did.
I
I
can have the
thought.
chat
Oh
back.
Hold
my
up, hold up,
God, we
hold up,
not
hold up,
about
hold
to
up,
play these.
hold up, hold on,
Joy
hold
is
on,
in the
hold on, hold
request
on.
with the clip.
Because I could have sworn to God, because this is why I was confused. Because I could have sworn that you even told Solid that was just your opinion. You made a comment about him and a white woman buying him, and that was just your opinion. And then he
My
came up
opinion,
and
yeah,
hollered.
my opinion from previous
In
lives.
2013,
Right,
yes.
right, right.
My opinion overall, but the white woman comment did not originate today. This has been my
I don't think
opinion
it
since.
originated.
No,
No.
the conversation between
Joy up and
Solid.
let Joy play this because I'm sorry. This is ridiculous. I'm sorry, but Sean, if you don't understand the sequence of events today, then it makes it seem like you think that we are talking shit on
We
Solid for
got
him to
no.
get in the live
I
at
don't
all.
think you're talking shit. Hold up. No, I'm
That's
just
not what
confused because
happened,
I could have
dog.
I,
sworn
Shut
but
the
we can
fuck
just
up.
clear the
when a
confusion up with
big
the
part
clip.
of
Relax,
a
dog.
big part of the conversation earlier
Who are we
was
letting
that
up?
Queen wanted to get clarity. I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm being serious. I just want everybody to feel heard and get what they need to get out. And a big part of the conversation
Joy, you
earlier
the one with the
was
clip?
that
Yes, Joy has the clip
Oh
okay,
shit, I don't
but a
have it.
big part of the conversation
from
earlier
today.
from today,
All
yes. A
right.
big part of the conversation earlier was that you gave your opinion and you were telling Solid, and that was just your opinion, and you should be able to have your opinion. But then after you gave your opinion, he came up on the live yelling and screaming at you, and that's when
Nope,
I said,
nope.
Cass, that's
The opinion that I gave today was that I felt as though he didn't have no smoke for Jones, but he had lots of smoke for me previously, as well as smoke for Jones when Jones was not present. I gave my opinion on
okay,
whether or
okay,
not I
okay,
felt as though he gave what was supposed to be given, because the comment of you need to get off the app because no one gives a damn about you, bro, was not enough in my opinion. And before I
okay,
could
okay.
express that other people also failed to say something in my opinion, that's when he came up. And that's what I was talking about when I said I gave an opinion on me feeling like you could have done more. But it wasn't until the end of the conversation before the host dropped him that he says, I was waiting in the request and Jones wouldn't let me up. And you'll hear me say in the clip, why the fuck you didn't just start with that? Because it
Right,
was never
okay.
about what I said about me feeling like he didn't do enough. It has always been about you not liking me and Wawa and fucking bananas. Correct.
You
So go
yeah,
ahead and
Okay,
play
you
but
the
would
wait,
clip.
think
hold on. Because
you
then
would
it was
think that
Can
the
you
still
just play
way
the clip?
just play the clip, please.
yes, I'm gonna play it.
okay. I'm sorry.
'Cause
You was clocking the T, you was calling him to the forefront. So now he's here. And we don't have nothing to say. Why are we telling him to get off live? I didn't understand. Well, how much money is it gonna take? Because you know that's the only way to get Solid to do something. I didn't understand that. Oh, I know exactly what Sis is talking about. But
Uh-oh.
I know I know that you know, Vonnie, that the longer that people dig and people that like us that don't give a fuck about none of that shit, we gonna say if it don't make sense, the shit leads back. Oh, to the speaking of, he's in the panel. Hold on. Who?
the clip is still playing.
Muted.
No, I'm not being muted. The clip is
The
still
live
it's
glitching.
glitching. The live is
Okay.
glitching.
Like, damn.
Okay. Listen, I just gotta be honest. Like Queen and Wawa, I don't trust nothing y'all do. I don't trust nothing y'all say. Was that the fucking? No. Anytime y'all. Do you want the videos why you don't trust what I do, nigga?
Every time
You
y'all
want the
touch
video, nigga?
every time y'all
You
touch
want the video
something,
because you
it's
got
for
yourself
it's
beat up
for
by your
some
own
sort
fucking
of
comments. You weird ass
it's
fucking
for some
nigga.
sort of
Because some white woman paid for
blasting
you.
out,
You want the
crashing out,
fucking video,
crashing
nigga?
out
Nah, fuck
because
you.
you
Fuck
crashing
you.
out
That's why
because
just the
you're
question
Jerry
that was
Springer.
texting looks like. This is what
Because you're
men
Jerry
protecting looks
Springer.
like. Go ahead, observant.
You're Jerry
Super
Springer.
solid. Shut your fat ass up.
Oh, body
Okay,
shit.
so that's the
Mm,
first clip.
mm.
What are you saying
I
for?
don't know
Should
what you're
we
saying. I'm
delete
about.
the?
This is
Did you not say what you said about me and I said what I
this is
said?
very
Because I'm
curious.
confused.
Well, it was.
He said, "How much money did
Are
it take?
we?
Because that's the only way to get Solid to do some shit."
Someone did say that, yes, and that's what I
Okay,
thought they
so
said earlier.
but
But
why is it
I
being
think
played like it was only about
No, but let's listen to the
Solid
rest of
not
the
calling
clip.
people out? Like, what are we doing right
Let's
now?
listen to the rest of the clip.
no,
I
I
can
thought
play
it
it.
was the
I
fact
don't.
that it was just the fact that like I was the one who was confused. So, and
Yeah,
the
you
reason why I
adding,
was confused, huh?
you adding to it. I'm gonna just play the clip because
I'm adding to it. What am I
you
adding
are.
to
You're
it?
adding to the confusion. You've been adding to the confusion all night. But I'm gonna play the rest of the clip.
I've been
Because
adding
you're
to.
Jerry
Okay.
Springer.
Go ahead, observant.
You're Jerry
Super
Springer.
solid. Shut your fat ass up. You see
Shut up,
these
nigga.
men
Who the
presenting
fuck are
black
you?
people trying to work through some issues, and you want to jump
But
up into
they're
the panel
not
and start
though,
telling
bro.
people that you don't trust them?
How many of
Off
y'all
the
niggas been
strength of a
talking about
white
the
woman
victims?
paying
Name
for
3 of the
your
victims.
fucking house?
Name 3 of the
Shut the
victims,
fuck
bro.
up. No,
Name
no,
3
nigga,
of the
shut the
victims.
fuck up. What you need to do is you need to
You
stand
can't.
It's the live
in the
glitching.
Name
comments
3 of the victims.
and
The victims. You can't. Name
me
3 of
and
the
be
survivors.
fucking quiet. That's all the
Name
fuck you
th-
need to
Wait,
do.
but hold on. Why would you even say that you're doing something good and then say name three
I'm
of
not
them?
saying shit. I'm
That's
not saying shit. I want
exploitation,
to
and we're
run that
not
nigga off
talking
the app
about
because
that.
he's harmful. I'm not saying
Okay,
shit. I
but
want
you
to run
had
that
an
nigga off the
opportunity
app
to
because he's
address
fucking
him, and you
harmful.
did. And when you saw that he didn't leave,
Yeah, I
that
did.
was
I
not
told that
right.
nigga to
Oh,
get
why
off
are
the
you
app because
talking
that's not
over
what his
me?
survivors do.
Why are you
Because
talking
he's a
over me?
bitch ass fucking
Why?
nigga.
So you
Hold
got more
on.
to say to me than you fucking had to say to Jones, you punk ass bitch.
Mm.
You got
Get
all
out,
that
bitch.
fucking smoke for a fucking woman, but you didn't have none of this fucking smoke for Jones.
Mute
All you
your
had to do was
mic.
say,
It's still going. It's just glitching.
you had to do was say,
It's glitching. Hold on.
The fact that you would even fix your lips and come up onto this panel and say that is absolutely insane. Pretending as if you protect black women and then coming in here and telling those same black women that you don't trust them in the middle of a conversation like this, it just shows that it's performative and you're delusional. It should be perfectly okay. It should be perfectly okay. Shut up. Shut up.
We're 3 of the victims not on this very same panel. Shut up. You can't do it because you're here for the drama.
Shut up.
You like drama. You're not trying to protect
We're 3 of the victims not on this panel today.
You like drama.
So what are you
sorry.
Are 3 victims not on this panel
How
right
does this help
now?
the
What are you
survivors?
talking about?
No,
How
How
does
are
this
you
help the
helping?
survivors?
How do you
How
as a
does this
man
help the
coming up on a
survivors?
panel saying you don't trust them?
We weren't even
How does this
talking
help
about
the survivors
Super
at all?
solid. When did you come into the live? When did you come into the live?
Solid.
How does this help the survivors at all?
When did you come into the live? That's my first
How does
question.
this help the survivors at all?
about.
He doesn't know what the fuck
How
he's
are you
talking
helping
about.
the
You know what the
survivors?
conversation was.
I'm talking about drama.
Let him show his ass. This is what he does best. Let him show himself. Because this is him. This is who he is. Let him show his ass. He doesn't know at all what we've been talking about. He doesn't at all know what has happened here. But he is embarrassed to show his ass and defend himself because that's all he cares about. He is the
Jerry
drama.
gives us a fucking bad
Jerry
name.
Springer.
You the type of nigga that doesn't
Okay, it's
bow
not
shit to
wait,
black
stop,
women
stop,
that wants to
please.
come onto a
Everybody
panel
stop.
and talk shit.
Observant, hold on 1 second. Solid, I'm not gonna hold you. This shit is weird. Stop saying name the victim. Stop. Stop. That's not fair. Every woman,
time out.
Solid, hold
Because they can't
on.
do it.
Solid, hold
Because
on.
they don't care.
Solid, let me speak.
They're not here because they
Solid,
what's
let
going
me
on.
speak.
They like the drama.
Stop. Yo, hey, yo,
I'm
you
interested.
yo.
I'm
For real, I'm saying something to you. I personally don't know any woman that has never been assaulted. Stop saying that. You don't know these women's stories. Stop doing that. It's fucked up. Now we came up here. We came up here to talk about the live that happened yesterday with this fuck nigga. All right.
Mimi,
A lot
why
of
are you
shit has
explaining yourself to
happened.
this nigga?
No, I'm not. I want him to stop
Because
saying
we
that
know.
shit. Because there's women and representing people on this panel. Saying stop name the victims is fucked up. Everybody that I know, what I'm saying is, I know I'm generalizing. What I'm saying is, I personally don't know one woman or representing person, whatever, that has never been assaulted. Stop saying name the victims when there could be more than one fucking victim on this panel. If they've not said their story, why the fuck are you saying that?
Wait, hold on.
It's fucked up. And it's
You think I'm
dismissive.
accusing them? You think I'm
No,
accusing them?
you're not listening to me. So you tell me you're not listening to me?
Then.
That is not what she
You're not
said.
listening to me. You're not listening to me.
I know that you're not.
It's disrespectful to
I
use
know.
their trauma as a
Hold on
response to
one
what I
second.
said about you not clocking Jones. That has nothing to do with it. And you act like some of those people are not on this panel right now. And my statement still holds true. They got up there and defended each other like they have been doing for weeks. You guys hold lives without the people who actually did the harm in the fucking panel. Your homeboy reconciled with fucking Hog Boss like it was nothing. So all you had to do was get on that live and say what the fuck you needed to say. Telling him to download the app. He held that live for hours after that. And when you saw that,
What'd you say?
Y'all, give me a second. Hey, Mods, anybody who's not, like, who's invalidating victims and shit like that, can y'all take care of that, please?
I got it.
Thank you.
Was this not the clip that was asked for? I don't know what. Bro,
I'm talking
we
about the
were
comments.
this bitch
we
is
were
about to get
asking
fucked up.
for
I'm sorry.
we were asking for the beginning of the conversation, the
That
dialogue.
was the beginning. That's what I'm saying. I'm playing the whole part from when Solid came in to where he left. That's what was
Yeah, I'm
asked
saying that's
because
what.
he's just proving the point that he's not there for the full conversation. Because that's what the point of contention was, that he came in and just assumed that this was drama when it wasn't.
No, well, that was talked about earlier. Yes.
No, but it was
Yeah,
brought up
What
he
again.
Wawa
said
was
Solid
talking
thought
about.
It
was
was
drama.
brought up again though.
Well, what Wawa was
Like,
talking
I thought it
about.
was drama because
Why?
of the comment about money being needed for me to check Tough.
Right, exactly. So like that's what's the clip that we
Why I
that
played
we
it.
were asking for. Because
Queen and
Wawa.
Wawa, was there
When do
anything
I
else
bring
you
up the
guys
white
needed me to
woman,
play?
Sean? When do I bring up the white woman?
No, I didn't say you brought up the white
No,
woman.
I do. I do bring up the white woman in the clip that Joy just played. When? Is it
You
after
do?
he says he doesn't trust Wawa or before?
Somebody brought up the white woman before he
I
even
brought her
got
up
up.
after he said something about my name
Hold up,
directly,
hold up.
correct?
No. What I'm saying is, I mean, yeah, you clarified after he did the thing. That's true. That's true. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you absolutely right. But I wasn't saying when I said that
Y'all are
somebody
talking about
has
the clip
brought,
from last year. We already talked about this when I came in.
huh?
We talked about the clip from last year when I came in here.
I'm not talking about the clip from last year. I'm
Okay.
talking about the clip from today. In the clip from today, or when it was just played, somebody brought up money that Solid would need to do something.
Queen brought that up. That's Queen
I
talking.
did, but that didn't have anything to do with
Right.
me.
So
That had
that's
everything
not
to do.
okay.
We saw this
So I'm
whole
not.
thing. We could
My
solve
whole
this
point
whole
was the reason why I said that is
Solid's
because
toxic.
hold up,
Because
Solid.
Solid got to go to work in 7 minutes. Solid got to get ready for work.
Okay, all right.
Solid's toxic.
Word.
Follow Solid.
Don't do
Rock
that.
Solid.
I'm not gonna
Solid,
tell
don't do
nobody to
that.
do that. I don't do that weird
And
shit.
then we don't have to
Solid,
worry
don't
about
do
it
that.
never
Nobody's
again.
saying
Don't do
that.
that weird
Nobody's
shit,
saying that.
Solid.
Nobody's
Go to
saying
work.
that.
Have a good day,
The
sir.
only thing,
I'm
the
not talking
only
about
thing,
you, so don't talk about me, please.
Hey,
I'm not worried about you, bro.
take my hand.
yes, okay.
Take my hand. Shake it.
They're talking about how you made them feel, how you triggered them and invalidated them. But the only reason why I asked about the thing about the clip especially was because earlier in the conversation, like I had said, Queen, you said that you brought up the white woman situation. That's why that even came up to begin with. And that's why I was like confused when Wawa was like, you would come up just to yell at us about something that happened with Banana. And I was
And
like,
yes,
nah, I
he
thought it
did. And he
was.
did. No, he did, because in the comments after he gets dropped, he's asking Peach, like, oh, I know you're not falling for this shit. Peach is trying to talk to him from the
Yeah,
box.
yeah. I
And then
remember
he
that.
starts
You said that.
typing, y'all hurt Jamie, right? And we know
Yeah,
that that's
yeah. I remember you
bananas. So,
said that.
yes, did I explain
Right,
my history with Solid in that live? Yes, I did. Because the history needed to be explained in order for people to understand that him coming into that box was no other than what we've talked about here today. He had an issue with us previously. He didn't like me. Da 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 da. He didn't want his friends to be around me because he felt as though I'm
right,
not a
right,
good person, whatever. So I did
right.
not bring up what he said about Christy Luhu until after he's dropped, and I do give the history of our situation. Prior to me saying
Wait,
that, I'm talking about when I said what I said prior to that, I'm talking about all of it. But that's when I said I didn't get a chance
wait,
to
huh?
finish what I was
What do you mean all of it? I'm sorry.
the conversation, the comment that I made when I said, how much money is it going to take?
Right, right.
I stated previously that that was not about Christy Lou Who, that was about all of it because I did not get a chance to finish. There are multiple other people that I could have named, but that's when Solid comes into the box. And that's when you hear the host say, oh, he in a panel right now. I was interrupted by the host saying that Solid was in the panel. And his
Oh, what
first
was you finishing?
words,
No, that's
just like
okay.
I'm finishing right now, I think that a lot of people on this app are grifters. So when I say how much money is it going to take, I'm talking about most people who host spaces only for the opportunity to get coins and gifts and cash apps.
That's not what you said, though. You said that's the only way to get Solid to do something.
Correct, because I'm talking about you because you're in the live,
Listen,
but I
Queen,
wasn't
why do
done
you
with my
keep doing this?
sentence.
I
Listen,
think
listen, listen,
stop,
listen.
stop,
We
solid,
heard
solid,
what I
stop,
said, and
stop,
I
You
stop,
never
don't
stop,
like
stop,
denied
stop, stop,
me.
stop,
that.
stop.
That's
If
how
she's
I feel.
clarifying,
That's why
if
I
that's
don't
what
like you.
solid, solid.
I
If
don't
she's
give a fuck
clarifying,
if you
she's
don't like
clarifying.
me.
Right?
Listen, all she's
Right?
doing is clarifying. I asked her a question. I asked her a
Shut up.
question. She is.
So now
She's
you want to try to
clarifying. She's
turn up at the
clarifying.
end of at the end of the
But
fucking live. We
see,
already established that you don't like me, but we
Right.
not finna sit up
So
here
then
and
let's
I
play
can we
this
mean,
cut
dumb
this short?
shit. Because Sean is asking me a
don't.
fucking question, and there's no need to fucking turn up, nigga.
I
Because
did
you
ask
not
her a
fucking
question.
tough. Puff
I'm
your
not
chest out
turning up.
somewhere the fuck else.
I'm not turning up. What are you
Just
talking
Uh,
because
about?
you doing
Why
that
are you
little fucking
assigning
light skin
aggression to me?
ass
I'm not
whisper
being
don't mean
aggressive.
shit.
hold
I'm
up, hold up,
aggressive
hold up. Chill,
now,
chill, chill. No, he
No,
said
I
you're
said, why
assigning
are you
aggression, right?
assigning aggression to me?
like you did me,
That's
I'm not being aggressive.
like you did me.
Touche. Damn, it sounds like we probably not
that shit.
a good
I
couple
can't.
of people to be around each other. Like, I think we
You
should
came
probably.
around me. I didn't come around
I
you.
think that was the hyperbole she talked
Oh
about
my
earlier
God.
to get you to
I know what the
understand.
fuck I'm trying to say. I don't need a fucking translator.
No, I was talking to him.
She's speaking up
I
for
know,
you.
but you saying what I don't care.
Okay, can we calm down? Can we? Because now we're getting upset. Queen, Queen, I really don't enjoy this. Like, for real. I really
You
don't.
did not have to
No, hear
come
me out.
into the fucking space and say
You right.
anything.
You
You say
right.
you don't enjoy it, but you fucking do. You
I know
came
I
up there
don't.
to start
I
drama,
don't.
and then you came over to this live and continue to speak about us without us being present. You did not want to have a conversation. You
Because
did
there's
not want
nothing
to
good that
hash
ever comes
anything
from it.
out. It doesn't, it's
Nothing
nothing good
good
that ever
ever
fucking
comes
comes
from
from it.
it.
And nothing good ever
No.
comes from it because this is the first time that we've ever been able to have a conversation.
And
It's
unprovoked, you
always the
made a
shit that
comment
you have
about me,
done.
right?
So
And it's all
what? I made a comment
crazy.
about what I fucking
No,
saw.
not so what.
If you don't do
Why are you
drama, then
throwing
don't
stones
fucking
and hiding
address
your
it.
Can
hand?
I? Can I?
How
Why
was
are
I
Because
you
I
hiding
throwing
my hand?
stones
I'm
and
in a
hiding your
live.
hand?
I'm in a live. I'm on a
You
public live.
threw a
How was I
shot.
hiding my hand?
You threw a shot, and then now all of a sudden you're like, well, I didn't get to finish.
I didn't. You
well,
wasn't
she
the
Of
only
didn't get
course
to
person
I
that I
finish.
didn't.
was
You
Hold
going
up,
to
didn't
hold
name,
get
and
to
up,
I
hold
said
up,
finish. Of
hold
that
up,
course I
hold up,
didn't.
already.
hold up. Time out, time out, time
You
out.
threw a
Because
shot.
she was clarifying. I did ask her the question though. Like she was clarifying, and if she meant grifter, then she meant grifter. But later on, somebody did say white woman, which is why I thought it was about the white woman because we talked about the white woman as well. That's why I thought that comment was about that. And when you said, Queen, when you said that you had said your opinion, that's what I like the whole thing about
Correct.
Jones and then
Yes.
the whole thing about
The
the
original statement
grifter.
about Solid was
That's why
based
I
off
thought
of
it was
my
about
opinion on how he handled the Jones situation. That's it.
situation. Well, it was also the white woman. Well, no, that's not true. That's not true. My
Because I
fault.
didn't
My
correct,
fault.
because that
My
comment was
fault. Because you
made.
just said money. You just said money. You didn't say the white woman. But
Yes.
I equated what we talked about with the white woman and the money to that comment. That's why I said what I said. That's why I was
And then
confused.
that's why,
I
and that's what I'm
apologize.
saying right now, saying that I'm hiding my hand because no, I'm clarifying the fact that I had already said in a previous live that I felt like people were being performative and that I felt like people were
Mhm.
utilizing these situations in order to capitalize off of. So when I made that comment, it wasn't just directed towards the Christy Lou Who situation. Wawa did say that.
Hmm.
And then when I came here and we talked about it, it was because I had said it previously. Yes, I have said those words
Right,
and I
right,
said them
right,
here today and I don't take them back because when you say these things, which is a discrepancy in the conversation of him saying that that's not the way that he put it and that's not the way that he meant it. But when I received the information the first time, that's how I received it. That was the opinion that I formed based off how I received his reaction to us wanting to call out Christy Lou Who.
right,
Period.
right, right. No, I hear you. I hear you. Okay. I just wanted to tell you that's why when earlier and while you two, that's why earlier I said I was confused because I thought we had established like a sequence of events and I just had it wrong. That was my fault. You was talking about something else. I just equated the things because we started talking about it. So that was my bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because at this point, like I said before, it really doesn't matter. If I'm saying something and you feel like you need to address me, then that's on you. But you don't need to address me because I'm going to continue to tell my story if it comes up and it's on the subject. Even if it's not on the subject, I get to talk about what happened to me as loud as I fucking want to. And I said that to you before. If it's on topic and it comes up, especially when we're talking about black men on this app, especially when we're talking about people who we don't feel like stand for this or to stand for that, I'm going to continue to talk about that. But you're not the only person that gets named. But you always seem to take it there. I don't give a fuck if you don't like me. We've already established that. It's never been about like. But you can't be addressing people in your fucking live and not expect them to come over and speak for themselves. So the same goes for you. So you was definitely engaging in drama today. So I guess I get to go around and tell everybody that all you do is fucking drama and not to believe you either. Don't trust you.
Bet.
Bet.
Y'all, we're shifting how we do things here.
I mean, you do gotta admit, so there were some things tonight that you even said, yeah, maybe I was fucked up on doing that. Maybe I was just enabling certain shit. Maybe I was just doing massage noir. Like you do gotta admit that. And then, huh?
I said that, right? Like,
Yeah, but how am
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
shifting when
You said that. You said that.
I was just pointing your logic back at you. So what was I shifting?
what are you talking about?
What was the
Why are
comment
we
about
still going?
shifting?
It's like, hey, whatever you
You
say.
made a comment about shifting.
I
How am
gotta
I?
go to work. I don't want to. I don't want to have to take no money from no white women for my mortgage.
So when people go and host their own fucking lives, then you want to call it mess. But this is exactly why for people to decompress. So if you want to take little quips and shit like that, then let's let it be that. Let it be that because you probably will take more money from a fucking white woman.
Mm,
You absolutely probably the fuck will.
my milk of
What did you
mandates.
expect? No, but what did you expect me to fucking say? You expect me to just bow out of the fucking conversation?
Yeah, I'm holding this shit
Cause you
against
wanna be
me.
a huh? You're
What
doing
is the
what?
point of this? Like, like for real? What is the point of this?
No, go
Do you
ahead, be
feel
who
like
the fuck you wanna be. Be
Do
who you
you feel
wanna
like you haven't
be.
been heard?
That's not what the fuck I just addressed. Be who you want to be. Say
No,
what you want to say.
I'm
Nobody's
asking you a
stopping
very
you.
specific
Don't
question.
suppress.
Queen, do you feel like you haven't
It's
been
about
heard?
what you're saying. It's
Yeah, no,
about
don't
solid
suppress
what you're
yourself. Say
saying.
what you need to say. Since it's all a big fucking joke. Since you're gonna go take money from
Do
white people, you
you
expect me not to fucking
feel
react?
like you haven't
No,
been
she's not.
heard?
No, I feel like everything you fucking did was fucking performative.
Okay.
But I'm
All
just
right.
glad that people can make
So
their
that's
own
why we're
fucking
still going?
opinion. No, we're still going because you made that little funky ass fucking comment and I'm responding to you.
Why?
Or am I using disparaging language again? Are you gonna fucking be triggered because you act like you didn't fucking contribute to this conversation? What you just said?
Sure. No, it's just hearing this shit like it's the whole like there's like no it's like you said the shit, right? You took a shot and then didn't take accountability for taking a shot.
What are you talking
And
about?
then if I make a quip, then it's a problem, right? Like it's just weird, man. It's
What
just
shot did I take
weird.
when I said
Like,
how much money it's gonna
but then
take?
I'm not
I
allowed to
took
say that y'all like mess.
because I said how much money is it gonna take? You talking about that comment?
But then I'm not allowed to say y'all don't like me.
No, because you're not answering the question. Which is it?
This is weird.
No, what's weird is that you act like you don't fucking hear me.
No, I hear you.
Then
I
answer the
think
question.
Yeah, this is weird.
That wasn't the question. I didn't ask you how you felt about that. I asked you what quit. You're talking about when in the live when I said how much money is it going to take?
Yeah.
Okay, and I
Right?
never
Did you know I
disagreed
was
with the
in the
fact that I
live when you
said
made
that.
that comment?
I didn't care. I
But
was
did you
going to make
know?
the
That
fucking
doesn't
comment
answer my
either way.
question.
It
Did
doesn't
you
matter.
know?
I don't care. No, I
Did you know?
didn't.
Okay.
No, not until the host announced that you were in the
All right, so
panel.
then you was just doing it just to do it.
I said that I just did. It's my fucking opinion.
Man,
I was going to say that
all
anyway
right,
because I
bet.
think you fucking fake and I think you fucking
All
performative.
right,
That was
bet.
what my
Yeah, you
comment was
said all this
about.
before. Yeah, bet.
Because that is how I feel. So
If
why do
I
I have to? Why do
feel
you have to
like,
be in the live for me to
so
say
then you
something?
allowed to not like me. Why can't I not like you?
Now you're not making sense on fucking purpose. What the fuck are you talking about? I don't have to
No,
know that you're in
you
the
get to
live to
do what
have an
you want.
opinion
You
about
get to
you.
just on the thought of me take a shot, right? That means you don't like me. You think I'm faking
I
performing.
never said that I
Why
did.
don't I get to think that you're
Because the difference between
messing?
us is I'm not going around trying to tell people that they shouldn't trust your lives and that you are performative, even if that's what I
I didn't
think.
tell people
That
they
is the
shouldn't trust
fucking
your lives.
difference.
According to the recording that was just played, I said that I don't trust anything you do.
That is the same fucking thing.
That's not the same thing.
Yes, because if you only meant the
It
conversation
literally
to be
isn't
for
the
one
same
person,
thing.
then it wouldn't have been in front of 300 fucking people. We all saw you. If it was one person that you were concerned
Did I
for
say, hey,
because they
y'all
are,
don't trust their lives?
it doesn't fucking matter.
All right,
The,
then.
the
well,
I
fucking
she
say,
said
I
semantics of
don't
the
trust
language
nothing you
doesn't
do. I
matter.
say, I don't trust nothing you do.
it's the
You asked what
implication
the
that
you
you want
asked
out there.
exactly the implication. You asked what the difference was, and I just told you. Not liking each other is not the fucking topic at hand. Not having opinions of each other is not the topic at hand. But I have not once got into a fucking live and told everybody there not to fucking trust you or that you don't stand on business or that your live topics are invalid
Yes,
because
you
I
did.
don't like you.
Wait. What do you call saying money is the only way to get solid to do something?
What the
Come
fuck
on,
do
man.
you
Come on,
mean?
man.
Did I
Why,
say
why
did
are
I
you
say that
playing,
that had
bro? Why are
anything
you
to did
playing?
I say that that had anything to do
Why are
with
you
the
playing?
live
And then,
topics
and
that you
then,
host?
and then, and then, and then all of a sudden it's like, nah, stop playing.
Solid.
Like,
I think if you're gonna just say what it is that what you're gonna say, like
can we like part ways forever? That'd be
if you're
That's
beautiful.
what it was supposed to be till you brought your ass up in the live.
Thank
I haven't seen
God,
you for
man.
fucking
Yeah,
two
but you was one of my
years.
friends, so I'm gonna go with my
So
friends. But
what?
next time I see you, I'll go the other way. I'll move the
Okay,
hell
but
on.
but solid. You have
Real
to understand
talk.
we are black. We are black. We all talk about the same topic. So you're probably going to see me talking to people that you know. We are all hosting some
All
of the
right.
same fucking topics.
And then I'm a dip. I'm not gonna
That's
involve
what you
myself
should have
in
fucking did, but that don't have nothing to do with what you're saying
big
right
time.
now.
Big time. So
And that's what you said last fucking time. But you can always find a fucking reason to take out your fucking anger on the fact that you don't like the fact that I don't like bananas and the fact that I don't like you.
okay, well then
But
you
if the
don't like
topic
me.
comes
You
up,
threw a
like I
shot.
told you
Wait, hold
before,
on.
I
You
am
threw a
going to
shot. I didn't
continue
get to address the shot. That's
and I
weird.
am going to continue to give my opinion because whether
Okay,
you
all right,
believe that
bet,
it happened or not, you
bet,
absolutely did not allow a
bet.
white woman to be held accountable because she paid for your mortgage.
Cool beans. Um,
Period.
how
So
much
if
money
you
did
hear
she
me
say?
talking about it, it doesn't fucking matter if you disagree. It happened. I
How
know that
much
it
money
fucking
did
happened,
that?
and I'm going to continue to say that it did.
So we good, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not affecting your fucking platform. You still have a platform. I'm not going around trying to tell people not to like you, but I don't have to.
I'm not telling people not to like your platform. In fact, while I was holding the live that I didn't let y'all up on, I said, if that's what y'all like, that's what y'all like.
No, you literally called us bloodsuckers and Jerry Springer. What the fuck
No,
are you talking
I
about?
said bloodthirsty.
Doesn't fucking
And
matter.
I did say Jerry Springer because that's what the fuck messed up
Yeah, that's
is.
disparaging the
It's
fucking
messed up.
spaces, but you did not have a
I
problem. You
think
had a problem with the fucking space, and you
You
already fucking
disparaging
said
my
that
space
already. You
by
didn't
saying
want your friends in the
that I'm a
space.
grifter. So like
Okay,
let's stop playing.
you
Let's
are.
stop pretending. All right,
You are.
well you
You
Jerry
are.
Springer.
You will continue to be. And you'll continue to platform problematic men so that you
You'll
can get your
continue to be
dollars.
problematic in your Jerry
And
Springer.
that's fine. If being problematic
Yeah.
is being loud about
Well,
shit that
then we
has fucking
good
happened, then I'll
then.
take that.
Stay in your
Then I'll take
prayer. I'm gonna
that.
stay
All
in
right, all
mine.
right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all
But you're
right.
not gonna do nothing but cry your fucking way out of it like you've had tried to
I
do several
think,
times.
You know,
I
right?
think, I
I'll
think
cry.
at
I'll cry.
this moment we're not getting anywhere.
We was
I
never
would
getting no
like
fucking
to.
We
where, and
never
you
gonna
know
get
that.
nowhere.
You
No,
keep feeding him
I
the
think we got
answers.
to.
We never gonna get
You
I don't
keep
know
nowhere
if
feeding
you.
him the
because
fucking
I'm trying to
answers.
I don't know if
listen.
you
This
can.
is the answer right here. Okay,
Hold,
I am not motherfucking innocent. I am not guilty of all the things that you say I'm guilty of. The motherfucking misogyny, the misogynoir, the colorism, all of that shit. Yes, there it is. But specifically when it comes to you, I don't enjoy you.
I don't give a fuck. I don't like your ass either.
all
Good.
right.
Okay, so we agree. All right. So that's all. That's all that means, right? I'm gonna continue to do whatever the hell, right? I'm gonna work on improving, right? I'm not gonna just leave this and not go, solid, you don't need to improve. I'm still gonna, right? But also I think it's just better for like the both of us. Like, don't you think it would be more healthy if we just didn't interact with each other?
You act like the interaction is coming from me. You came in that live. You started this live
No.
talking about us.
You didn't even know I was there and sent a shot. It did come
I
from
don't.
you.
I know. You think that that's a
It
gotcha,
did
but
I
come
it's
from
mean,
you.
not.
It came from you 100%.
You addressing the situation doesn't have anything to
What are
do
we
with it.
doing?
You talking about separating. We're not talking about who said
Okay.
what. You said let's
Okay. So
separate. The
let's.
separation
Oh,
was breached when you got your ass in a box.
you're
What
right.
you not getting?
You're right. You're right. You're right. So let's.
there you go.
We're not gonna interact anymore. I
We
think.
wasn't supposed to be interacting previously.
So then yes, you're
That's up to
agreeing.
you. You got in the box.
Okay. All
This
right.
is
So you're saying that you don't want to interact. You're saying yes. Let's not interact anymore.
Previously, that was already the fucking agreement, but you got your ass in the
Well,
box.
that's very weird because I just want to add just very simple. Like, are we not going to interact with each other
I
anymore?
already said that, but you got in the box.
Okay, so
I
you're
didn't
saying you.
interact with you. You
You're saying
interacted
yeah.
with us.
Yup, I did. I got in the box. I interacted with you. But now moving forward, I just want to establish: are we in
Yes, and
agreement?
it's not an interaction for me to talk about what you did if that's what you're confused about. I will continue to fucking
Okay.
say what happened to me when it topic of massage noir and
Okay.
what happens comes up.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All
I'm
right.
going to continue to speak about it. If you address it, then we'll be back here. If you don't address it, don't address it. If people try to send you to live and say I'm talking shit, then leave it. Because I don't come to your fucking lives. If you say something about me, I have not came to your lives. I have not seen you in almost 2 fucking years or over 2 years. So you keep saying we're gonna stay away from each other. You came into the box based off of a comment that I made that you've heard me make 1,000 fucking times, and I will continue to fucking make it.
Yes. Yes, Joy. I am running late for work. Okay. Is there more? Okay. I'm going to take the silence as an agreement. As that there you don't have anything further. Okay. Sis,
you there, Queen? You there?
I appreciate you for helping.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, okay. I just wanted to make sure you wasn't talking and we just couldn't hear you or something.
Yeah, I appreciate you for helping. Swan, thank you very much. You know, Swan, one of the dope things about you is you're never afraid to hold me accountable. And so I just appreciate that. All right, y'all.
No.
Okay. What do you believe are the values of marriage outside of the moral union?
If I was married, the only thing I would really want out of him is a man of integrity. That's it.
No. Outside of moral union.
Outside of moral union, maybe just to show up, to be present. Is that a good one? Just be present.
The what now? I'm sorry.